Hey, how'd my father die?
49 times we fought that beast, your old man and me. We had a chicken head with duck feet, with a woman's face too.
Oh, that's rad.
It was waiting in the bushes for us. Then I ripped off your dad's face. He was screaming something awful. In fact, there was this huge mess and I had to change the floors.
The floors?
You see his blood, it drained into the boards and I had to change them. But we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. 'Cause something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love.
Yo, never knew my dad, he didn't care about me. Dead horizon is all my macro binoculars see. Moisture farming all my life and not a drop spilled. My aunt and uncle double sons and sipping blue milk. My aunt and uncle double sons, I'm sick of blue milk.
But then a desert hobo came and told me we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Yeah, something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Hold me when I open like a flower. Hold me right. Yeah, I ain't had to bake for a girl in a long time. A long time.
I think my cooking's awesome.
I've got her picture in my photo wagon.
I keep it poppin'.
Yeah, she'd probably love to honky tonk.
Probably love to honky tonk.
That's what I said. Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder of faith that I don't find, but I don't wanna find. Waiting for me around the corner, oh no, no.
Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder of faith that I don't find anymore.
Crispy bodies by the door. 49 times. Yeah, it was 49 times, and now it might be waiting for you. Could be hiding behind that scrap pile. It's just a big cow. I know you really want someone to hold you, but we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love.
Do not wear that outfit again. But if you wanna keep your speed, because I want to fit in. Sorry, you're just not terribly important to me. Did you know that Whitney Houston's debut beat her phone #1 single song? Did you know that Christy, there are no girls with good personalities? I don't think we should see each other anymore. It never was supposed to be. Gotta return some videotapes. Have to return some videotapes. Did you know I'm utterly insane? I like to dissect girls that ate some of their brains. Gotta return some videotapes. I'm really late. Gotta return some videotapes. I guess I'm probably returning videotapes. Gotta return some videotapes. I guess I'm probably returning videotapes.
Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday. Look at that. Look at that light in the background there, Kayla.
Light. Let there be light.
I don't know.
I feel like
Let
Jesus or something.
me see. You've got stuff on your shelves. I think that's brand new. Yeah, I don't think that was there last time, was it?
Nope.
Look at that.
I'm slowly getting things together between
Putting
my
it
work
together.
schedule.
Yeah. Slowly becoming an actual background. I like that. That's pretty
God.
cool.
Kind of was always there. No one just could see it.
Mm.
So it's just back up. So
Yeah.
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 My
Now you
feet
got the
are
light and
done.
everything. All is right in the world. I like it. How you doing this week?
I'm tired, but I'm happy to be here.
All right. It's all that matters. I'm about the same. I'm tired for some odd reason. I think it's the weather. Here in Michigan, we've been getting a lot of rain. It's gloomy. So all I want to do is sleep. It sucks.
That's kind of how it is out here right now. Although today was oddly warm and sunny.
Mm. Yeah.
So
I miss that. I need the warmth still. I'm not ready for winter. Give me a nice good fall, but I'm not ready for winter yet by any means.
I don't want winter. No.
We got Jimmy
is
Reyes
not-
in the house. Yeah, screw that. Nobody wants winter. Come on now. Let's just get back to warm weather, feeling good, getting outside, less clothes for the women. That's all I'm saying. That's all it is. Jimmy Reyes says, "Hola, everyone. Going to be a cool stream. This is going to be fun. Going to be talking to one of the guys I really enjoy talking to, and then Tommy. I haven't got to know him very well, but this will be a very, very good stream to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. Got Leandro in the house says, heck yeah, let's go.
What's up, Leandro?
I like the attitude. Got Deerman says, hail to you, brother. Got Rick Saylor, member of the channel, says, hail all you sexy bitches.
I know. Joe's very good looking. I'm just the
I
brains.
am very good looking. That's true. That's true. I can't deny that. People, I really can't. I'm sorry. Call me vain. Everybody did growing up. It is what it is. Got Jaro in the house. He says, good morning. Hail to you, brother. Thank you for joining us. We got Hail the Lore. Says, hail all. Let's go. Fire.
Fire. That's what I spit. Hot fire. No.
Oh, that kind of party. Got Nicholas Gear in the house. Says, howdy, folks. Another member of the channel. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. We got Larad in here. Appreciate you. Hail the chat. Ran Nada. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hail the chat. That was horrible. I'm not going to do that again.
It sounded like Rocky. It was pretty good.
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but I don't think I
it worked.
it.
It worked. It worked. I wouldn't lie to you.
All right, I didn't want to embarrass myself. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. We got Astro Zombie in the house as well. Hail the chat. Hail to you, brother. Good to see you. See Tarks9. Oh, I'm sorry. Astro Zombie is another member of the chat of the channel. Appreciate you guys. Tarks9, another member of the channel. Hail Comic Skate. That is the truth. Good to see you, man. Insaniacs Draws. Hail to you. Got some good people in the chat tonight. Appreciate you guys showing up. Don Edwards. Hey, Joe and Kayla. Like that. Got one of the men himself, Mr. Phill Diaz, sitting backstage with guys mutton chops back. I like that. I think it's been back for a while, but just never cut those again. Ever. Just don't. Just keep the hair, keep the mutton chops. Messing with my mind. Oh, there's a superstar in our chat right there. It's Edwin. How do you pronounce that last name? Ayala. Okay. I would butcher it. You know I would butcher it. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us tonight. Got Jonas Olson in the house as well. Good to see you guys. Oh, D-Wag. Man, how's it going, brother? Hope everything is good. Leandro, let's say that's what they say. Joseph,
Oh, no. I don't do feet. Leandro. I do not do feet.
Just don't show us toes, Joe. Ain't no Lars. That's true. Yeah, I don't do that either. Yeah. People, if you know me, you know I'm not down with feet.
I'm not down with the feet.
Yeah, not at all. Well, guys, we got a lot of people streaming tonight, so I appreciate everybody's here spending your earned minutes hanging out with us. I appreciate that. We're going to look at some cool comic book art tonight, as we do all the time. This is a little bit different of a show, though. Instead of looking at some of the 90s stuff or stuff I usually bring up from some of the legendary guys that we cover on the show, we're going to cover some good friends of ours and a really awesome book that came out earlier this year from the Graveyard Shift Volume 3 supplemental book. So it's going to be really, really cool. We're going to bring on writer Phill Diaz and artist Tommy Patterson of the book. Well, I guess it's called Graveyard Shift Supplemental 3, but the story of Brahms. So let's bring them on. Phil, and Tommy. Welcome to the show, guys.
What's up, guys?
Phil, you're on mute.
You're
Come
muted,
on, dude.
Phil.
Yo.
There he is.
Phil's just trying to give me the spotlight.
I
Yeah,
think
you
that's
had
what
your
it was,
chance,
yeah.
Tommy, and you failed.
Yeah.
Hey, what kind of
Hey-o.
language restrictions do we have here?
Phoenix is here.
You're only allowed to speak in English.
That could be.
Okay.
Well,
I
I mean,
speak
I
in
can-
Massachusetts, so
That's true.
I speak in
the language of our
northern.
own.
I don't know. The sound of the north, I guess. We got Phoenix in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you, man. It's been a little while. Hope everything is going good with you. Says hail the motherfucking chat. Yes. Yes.
Hail.
Dear Man said one of my favorite books this year. Awesome.
Dear
That
man,
is
hail,
awesome.
brother.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be
Dear
fun.
Man's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Love that Dear Man. Check out his
Yeah.
reviews. Got yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is Dear Man is like multiple deer. So it's just like a bunch of them.
Oh, a bunch of
He's a man made of deer. You
a
know
bunch
that?
of dear men, huh?
Mhm.
You know what? I'm going to. All right, where's he at? Where are they at? I'm gonna mod them. Drop a link to your channel, dear man. Let everybody
yeah.
go there and check out reviews and all that stuff. So drop a link so everybody can see that. Kayla disappeared. We lost her.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
This was actually a very this was
She don't want to be
fun-
caught laughing at that joke on stream. It's cool. I get it.
I was fixing
I wouldn't either.
this was a very fun book. I enjoyed myself. Primarily, I'll just say, like from the art point of view, I really dug it because it's what I feel is comic book art. You know, like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
your style. For one, I love your style, Tommy.
Thank
Everything I've seen you do, especially like the time I was on you, I was on with you guys on Phil's show, and you drew that picture of Reaper Destroyer for me. That was awesome, and just like from that point on, like I known who you were, but like I dig your style. So getting to actually read this book, the storytelling wise, very strong storytelling, and I'm looking forward to the next stuff you do. But you know, I'd say
appreciate it.
absolutely, man, absolutely. You want to dive into talking about this book a little bit? I know Kayla's got. I mean, Kayla, look at her. She
Kayla's the
is
question.
she is ready. Yeah, she is
Well,
absolutely ready.
This book was the first time using my new method of drawing.
Ooh, let's
Yeah,
talk about that for a second.
Well, normally I would do like a loose thumbnail. Let me grab one of my guys here. Anyway, I'll do like a real loose thumbnail on the script page, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So-
like on the actual script itself. Okay. Yep. I get
Yeah,
you. Yep.
right.
Hold a
So
second. Hold that up there for a second. I'm just gonna blow you up so everybody can see this.
Make
This is
it
a cool
big.
process, guys. If you got artists and young creators out there, just anything. This is a cool way to see the process.
so whenever I'm doing it, I feel like I want to find the best scene per panel. So each panel has its own like restrictions. You gotta, whatever part of the story is being told, it has to be there. It's necessary, right? Well, then after
Right.
I get all that kind of figured out, then I start playing with panel sizes and all that. Then I try to find what panel can afford to be blown up and be the coolest. And sometimes, you sacrifice a little bit of storytelling for cool, but I'm such a
Cool with that.
natural storyteller, kind of. I know it sounds like I'm bragging or making it easy or something, but I keep it simple, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, and then I go to the second pass, which is this.
All right. Hold on a second.
Make it big.
Yeah. That's what she said.
I knew you were going to say that.
Right?
Yeah. There you go.
So,
So that's also kind of like a thumbnail layout, right? But just bigger than what you had.
well,
before.
that's the structure, right? And then when it's
Okay.
all, I don't have a final one here, but after that, it gets one more pass. So it gets 3 passes.
Okay.
So little guy, then I blow it up and really play with the panel sizes, like when it's being translated over to the bigger sheet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do that in blue line. Then I draw the damn thing, just a little tiny version of it. And John really pushed me to do more a tighter version of the layouts, and it's helped my work so much, man. It's crazy. It because like whenever I'm drawing it on the page, that's the third time or fourth time.
It's actually
Drawing
kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that.
So the fortitude comes in not getting burnt out drawing the same thing that many times.
Yeah,
that would be hard for me. Like I've done a couple different techniques when drawing. I've done the thumbnail, blow it up, light box it, and then go over and start rendering it. And primarily what I do now on Reaper Destroyer and the stuff that I drew now is basically I just go right to the board and do very light sketching, very light sketching with a very dull pencil. So I don't have to put a lot of lines on there. If I have to erase something, it's not that big of a deal. And I just found that for me, it was easier to keep the energy that way, because when I would try to transfer stuff, I lost so much energy from what I thought was the dynamic thumbnails.
That's why I didn't do it before. See, I tried this method way back in the day.
Yeah.
Even tried it some on Game of Thrones, and I just felt like, I lost too much energy and, of course, got burnt out on it. But I don't know. I don't know if it's, hitting 40 or whatever, getting older. You lose a little bit of the ADD, and so I'm able to sit a little bit longer.
Yeah, you're in the 40s club here. I appreciate that. Yeah.
See, I still have my energy,
Oh, of course. Yeah. Young whippersnapper Phil over here. Before we get any farther, you brought up this Game of Thrones thing, and some people might not know what you're talking about. Why don't you go into that real quick?
If they don't know, they better ask somebody.
That's right. That's right, guys. Yeah, let me blow.
There you go. Look, she has a copy.
Yep, here we go.
Well, this is the first volume. There's actually...
Wait, that's just a real book. That's not a comic, is it?
This is a comic.
Oh,
come on,
shit.
people. If her camera was a little bit better, Kayla.
I'm sorry. Look at this beautiful Jon Snow here. Oh, my God.
Right,
the floppies, the monthly was 29 pages.
There you go.
Yeah, about. So.
And then they collected 6 of those.
Yep, and then the Clash of Kings has about 2. They'll be doing the same amount, I believe. This is the first volume. There's this one just in the closest arm reach for me. I could whip them
all we care about is the one that Tommy did.
All you need to see is that it was done.
When I won the job, I did a tryout for it. Smoked the competition.
Yes.
And George sent me an email. He's like, really happy to have you aboard. I look forward to working with you for the next 14 years.
That was 14 years.
That was the last email I ever heard from that son of a gun.
Freaking Winds of Winter. I've been waiting like almost 14 years for it to come out.
Rad says we ain't getting the last 2 books. I'm sad.
Nah, he's riding around on airplanes eating cheeseburgers.
Playing with train sets.
Hail J. Ryan, he says, damn, look at Tommy Majestic. Just looking at him. Yeah.
Got a little light on my red head.
Yeah, just got the downlight going on.
Yeah, so the question is, did I follow the show or the books or do my own thing? But I was told specifically not to have it look like any of the actors on the show, because then they would be getting royalties from it, because the way it works in Hollywood, your face is your registered. Yeah. So
right.
I created the world from the ground up, from scratch, all the settings, all that stuff.
Hail Sumo Thori. And we also got Patrick in the house as well. That's crazy, man.
My camera is a crime right now. How?
Yes, because people can't see you.
Am I at 780p again?
Yeah, probably down to like 120. I don't know what's the lowest range. You're down lower than 720. Unfortunately.
Let me see settings. No, I'm in 180p. It's my internet.
Yeah, it's probably the internet.
It's doing all right.
Yeah. No, you look fine. You look fine. You look great. It'll come back around. Just to figure that once you're holding up the art so we can look at it, it's all pixelated.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's my life.
That's that high wattage art.
Yeah, exactly. We got Mike TV Dub in the house. 144 potato.
So, okay.
Oh my God, good to see you.
we were
before you go,
discussing this before stream. Okay.
before you go on, Kayla, before you go on, I just want to touch on this just before you go on. Rock On said, Tommy, did Tommy get royalties for the Game of Thrones comics? I know we talked about that before behind the stream.
Yeah. No, my art rep talked me into signing a terrible contract.
Oh.
And like even after I was off the books, I kept getting emails from Anne at Random House. She's like the main editor over there. She's like, it went into another printing again. We're in the 12th printing. And every time I'm thinking, I'm not seeing any effing money from this.
Yeah.
And she finally stopped sending them. But like all the books went to the bestseller list. The first 3 went to number 1. We knocked Walking Dead off the charts.
Nice.
Damn, I heard of that one.
Yeah.
Nice. That's an accomplishment.
That's a terrible
point.
book. It's all that snuff, gore porn. Ugh.
Yeah.
Now, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. It's high class.
It's a moral standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of midget sex.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of actual porn in Game of Thrones.
Hail Jasper.
But it's classy.
Hail Jasper. We got Bordeaux in the house as well. Good to see you. All right, Kayla. No more cutting you off. I'm going to give you the show to you. You got questions. I'm going to handle the chat. I'm also going to look for my supplemental 3 real quick. So
since we were on the topic of royalties, I was talking to Tommy before the show, and Tommy had mentioned that he had never seen a royalty before within his career. Do you want to explain how some of these contracts do work for maybe young artists or up-and-coming artists or writers, or so that way they could possibly avoid being put into a situation like that?
I would say at first ask them what they think the sales are going to be on the book, because they usually have an idea. And you have to ask for it or you won't get it. And my art rep suggested that I take the contract that they sent over as is, but he was just hot for his cut. So no royalties for me. And it's like on, first book's on the 12th or 13th printing. The second book is 10 or 11. The third one is like 8 or 9. And I've never seen a dime for that. And if you're looking at like a standard royalty rate, it's quite a bit of money I'm not getting. So
I would be upset.
You got to fight for your contract. That's all you read 48 Rules to Power and you pump yourself up, and then you sign the contract, but not before. You got to read some mindset books or something.
You got to read some Robert Greene.
Yeah, you can't come in cold and sign a contract because they will keep the money from you.
The Art of Roy Cover says, Hail JMS and guests, I do licensed sketch cards of the Game of Thrones season for Rittenhouse Archives, and we cannot draw any actors. It's all backgrounds, interiors, and dragons. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So, is that what brought you to independent comics? Is that what got you?
Well, no. I dropped the ball on Game of Thrones. I dropped the ball on Game of Thrones and took too long. So once I finished the first book, Game of Thrones, they were looking to move on. I mean, I wasn't like ridiculously late. Like I said, the book they were wanting it to be monthly at 29 pages, which that's insane. Nobody can keep that pace. Except maybe, John Romita Jr. or somebody. But
right.
After that, I worked with Sam Humphries, CG's favorite writer.
That guy's a little weird.
The enemy of my enemy, or enemy of my friend is not my enemy, or whatever the saying is. Sam was good to me, man. That's all I know. So I know politically he went all in, hard left, like most of the people in the industry did.
Yeah.
And one second.
We got
not my cats tonight.
I know that. Well, I'm sure they will pop up at some point.
The fat one's around here doing something. I don't know what. I can hear him going in and out of boxes. So as long as he doesn't knock things down, we're good.
We're good.
So
Khan's Comic Pitch Stop said, at Tommy, what are you working on that we can support you directly? There is a Graveyard Shift for a Megastorm is out right now. I know that there is a link in the chat. I think Phil dropped it earlier. But that is the current thing that Tommy is working on right now, art-wise. Tonight, we're going to be talking about this book right here, The Graveyard Shift, Supplemental 3, The Brom Story, written by Phill Diaz. There it is. There it is. We're going to take a look at some of this art here in a second. Just I want to jump into it, talking about the book a little bit, getting to know Tommy a little bit as well. So back to you, Kayla.
So how did you end up working with Phill? Did you guys talk beforehand? Were you guys paired together for this project? How did that end up working out?
No, I was working with John. I was doing The Ruiner. I guess the artist on it wasn't doing it fast enough, so John wanted me to come in and finish it up. And then I started drawing the Omega Storm around April of last year. And in May, he's like, well, no, it doesn't matter. Timeline doesn't matter. Anyway, he stopped that book because Phil's Brom Story was done and he wanted to get it published. And he could tell early on enough that I was dependable, so he just put me on it and said, get it done. And he said, do I want to have any contact with the writer? And I said, yeah, definitely. And now Phill and I are best friends.
Aw.
Forever.
I think it's important that writers and artists do have contact with each other. I think that it shows in the work and the art flows better and the storytelling, everything just works better that way. How can you really work with someone that's writing if you're drawing and there's no, you just draw whatever? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's not a connection there between, there's no back and forth. I feel that everyone that works on something, they do have to have something to bond over, and they have to be able to discuss things or disagree on things and explain why. And, there has to be that back and forth.
It was clear from the script that Phill was a big fan of, exciting image, the big two, Marvel, type artwork. And he had even, panel description, shapes and stuff in there, which is a little tighter than anyone I've worked with before. Phil's really tight.
You don't even know. No, that was an important thing. I really wanted to have an open communication with the artist because I had finished the script, like Tommy said, before he was even on the project. So I was writing this, maybe we had deadlines when John was having me write this. So it'd be like, you need a full script done in, I don't know, a month or whatever, and then edits another 2 weeks and then have that done. So I was hitting those deadlines to be sure, doing things early. And then when it came time for an artist to come on, we had an artist that was lined up that then left the project. And I suggested another one, and then he's like, oh, I got this guy, Tommy. So I'm like, could I have a correspondence with this artist so we could, work together? Because I've only ever worked on scripts for my own projects. This is the first time I've ever done work for another person or another company. So the way I work with artists is really close. You have the script, but you also send in, layouts or pencils, and then you talk about that and go back and forth. And you have the piece of the artist's mind going to the page and the writer. So it's a total collaboration. So that was really important to me. So I, hit up John, and he's like, oh, I'll ask Tommy, because he was worried about too many cooks in the kitchen and stuff. Because John was the editor on it, which I think he did a great job editing my script, keeping us on track and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really glad we were able to work together on it.
John is an excellent editor. Just ask him; he'll tell you.
That's what he says.
Hey, John isn't for everyone.
Tell you.
He's not for everyone, but he was right for me, right time, right place. Right mindset, and languishing in doing licensed work like Game of Thrones, Farscape, all that stuff. Yeah. And then having my career peter out. I never really got a chance to draw superhero stuff or draw stuff for Marvel or DC. Right. I almost had a long shot comic book but
cool.
that
Really?
fell apart.
So this was like what you're doing now is like kind of like your first step into the superhero world, then, huh? As
Right.
far as what we're seeing is like fans, readers, all that.
Correct.
That's pretty
Correct.
cool. You look natural. I mean, like
This-
it's awesome.
Like, go ahead.
There's definitely a change within your art style too. I can tell just from the stuff that I've seen within that Game of Thrones book. Now that I'm completely aware that you were the one that did that. In this book, there's definitely a change within the art style, not in a bad way. But
You should check out Citizen Jack that I did with Sam Humphries. It's a whole other art style itself
altogether.
too. Yeah, I tried to do the Nick Patera like open line style, like the
okay.
Mobius, Jeff Darrow type stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
I did that on that book, and
Do you think you're more comfortable with the style you're doing right now? With
oh
this stuff?
god,
Is this more like
I've been
or
waiting
is
my
this-
whole life for this. This is
Yeah,
like
okay,
this is my Marvel and DC right now.
Right,
So I'm
right.
finally getting my shot. And I've always had in my head, I'm like, I got these extra gears if I can ever get to that place,
Yeah.
I'm over here having to draw fantasy, draw little dopey midgets and
Hey, there's nothing wrong with fantasy.
no, I'm trying to sell the book here. And doing stuff that's a little closer to life, for lack of a better, life size
No,
proportion.
yeah, yep.
As to we're drawing the superhero stuff, it took me the first 26 pages of Omega Storm for John to get me tuned in. I'll give him the credit because he was pretty hardcore about it.
Yeah.
And now it's basically making the figures 9-10 heads tall, smaller heads, longer limbs.
Yep.
And it's everything that I had trained out of myself to do this other style. But dude, I grew up like that's all I've read and looked at. I was never really into any indie books or anything like that.
That's a great point that you bring up, though, when it comes to the art style. Like, you have to almost untrain yourself to get back to this comic book style because you're doing like more realism art where, comic book. What I love about comic book art is that it's exaggerated realism. Like so you.
All these dudes got on clothes, tunics, and baggy pants.
You can do longer legs. You can do broader shoulders. Like you said, smaller head. Like there are things you can do within the comic book style of drawing. I think just is what makes comic books, which is why I rail so hard on artists nowadays, maybe in the mainstream or whatever. They're trying to draw too realistic of characters, and it's like that's not what they're meant for. That's not how they look. Like so when I see a book like Brahm or the Supplemental 3 book, in the stuff I've seen of Omega Storm on the Indiegogo page, like that's comic book art to me. Like that's what I when I see it, that's just it. Like I look at them like this is comic book art. This is the way it's supposed to look. So you nailed it, man. You killed it as far as that goes.
Well, and Jimmy's Inks gave me a level of polish that wouldn't otherwise be there. So,
hey, I'm all about working with good inkers and what inkers can do for a penciler's lines. There's a collaboration that Phil's talking about between the writer and the artist, and also the artist and the inker bringing that together. So it's a combination of you two. It's still your art, but you can kind of see what your inker does and refines and brings out. It just makes everything better. It's
such a fine line because I'm telling you, when you're drawing like small figures and stuff, they ink a bottom of an eyelid wrong. Or they color it wrong, and the guy looks like a freaking mongoloid. Then your confidence is crushed because it was lost in translation. And I haven't had to worry about that since working with John. So
well, working with really good inkers like that, like with Jimmy out over your stuff, and also with Anthony George doing the colors, you have that the confidence that they're gonna present your work the way it should. And I've worked with inkers. No offense to them, that were amateur like me as well. Like I'm not lifting myself up in any kind of way, but that would return your work and it wouldn't look like my pencils anymore. Like, because things were missed and things were inked in a weird way that the lines just didn't look like me. It wasn't my art,
It'll also keep you from phoning it in. If you have a good inker,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not gone to waste.
Before we go any farther, I've deprived everybody for almost 40 minutes of looking at really cool art. So I know Tommy sent me this awesome a PDF file. I'm going to play here while we talk about this book in the background. So Kayla, go ahead and continue. I'm going to put this on.
I'm just going to say, Tommy, do you feel that you get to do things more dynamically in the artwork through this? Because that's what I can tell. Things are definitely more dynamic looking.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see as we scroll through the book here, it progressively gets more and more over the top. The angles get crazier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
more
it,
foreshortening.
Yeah, definitely. More of that.
I love the proportions too. I mean, again, like I said, when you read this, for everybody that's watching this live or watching it later, this looks like comic book art to me. Like this is the stuff I would have read in the 90s if I picked it up and just been like, wow, this is badass. Like fortunately we're getting it now because you don't get to see a lot of this stuff much anymore.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. I mean, because I'm on your stream, we'll talk about you a little bit. Like after you did Phil's show where I was drawing your character, I think I told you after the show that your book it's in my wheelhouse. It's my kind of shit,
Yeah.
I mean, right? Just even the design of the characters, almost everything, really, and you've nailed that to such a degree that every pose you see the character looks cool.
I appreciate it. And I feel the same way about this book, just reading it. Like this pose right here of Brahm, just like that upshot there with the. Also, again, the colors are great on that. Just the blues,
gorgeous. Yeah.
So again, this is the art that I love. Like this kind of stuff was what I love. So I appreciate it, man.
It's a nice left-hand page reveal right there,
and that's in the writing too.
I love those page reveals. I think that's something I learned a lot from doing my first 2 books.
I wish I would have thought about pulling some of the script up to show what the direction was on some of the
I was
panels.
actually going to ask if we could do that later. If Phil's got anything we could pop up here later just to see, because I would
flip
be really
through it real quick,
interested.
Phil, and find one where you have like specific panel descriptions. Like I want a long, skinny panel here.
Where did the idea for this story come from, Phil? Like, what inspired you to write this particular story?
So I don't know.
Because when I was reading it, right? So I was like, is it named Bram like as a ode to like Bram Stoker because of who the main villain, not necessarily because there's a twist in it, but.
So Bram was a new character in Graveyard Shift 3, and at the time he wasn't. That book wasn't out yet. It was just still a campaign. So John, I was hanging out with him one day after a stream, and I had actually pitched to him if he wanted to be a part of the swimsuit book that I was doing. And this was like a year and a half ago. We had the idea of CG Vacation. I'm like, hey, would you want to do a Project Thundar piece? It wasn't even called Godlike yet. So that's how far back this was. And he's like, yeah. He's like, actually, I'm doing something similar to that with Lilith. And that was his first Visions book. So long story short, we talked about that. And he's like, hey, would you like to pitch a story for Graveyard Shift to write? He's like, before, we've done these supplemental books, but they've been plotted out by Mark and I, and we really wanted to give someone a shot pitching a full plot to something. I'm like, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. So I saw this character Bram, who was on the campaign page, and he's Bram short for Abraham Van Helsing. So I came up with the plot of this, and at the time they didn't have much about the character. That his family was murdered. You see that in Graveyard Shift 3.
Zoom in on top right there.
Yeah.
Joe.
Which one? Oh yeah, go back.
Joe, will you zoom in on top right? The guy with the record, J-Man.
I can't zoom in. But
you can't? Okay. My bad.
So what are we looking for though?
Yeah. I was just gonna point out how I did almost convenience store corner mirror effect on J-Man scenes in a few panels because I felt it made it feel urban.
Nice.
Yeah. J-Man. Here's my.
Sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
So I gave him 3 plot pitches, him and Mark, and I really wanted to do the Brom one, and that's the one they picked. So I had already started writing it even before they chose that plot to go with.
I'm glad it did. Brom's a cool character. You know, aesthetically, he's got a good look, design. You know, gives you that. You know, like I've seen a lot of people say it before, and I've seen it in the chat here, and I thought the same thing. Gives you like that Cable feel, and you know, obviously throwing in the whole Bram Stoker's thing as well into there. Just it's got a good aesthetic, good design, good details, all that. I love it.
I loved this here. What was written here on this page?
The narration,
I mean, I don't have it memorized off of the top of my head, but I loved what this said about the world jumping and.
Oh yeah, I can read it.
And basically, you know, I can't like see it very well.
You're in that sucks. I can read it though for you, Kayla.
Can you read it? Thank you so much.
Phil, would you read your book to her, please?
Yeah.
Please read me a bedtime story.
It's I think, is there a narration bit before that? Let me just pull out the book right here.
Yes, there was a little bit of narration.
You
go, I can see it now. I can read it.
You want to read it in your? Well, the funny thing is, this story also takes place in
Salem.
In Salem,
my hometown. Where you won't find witches, but you'll find bitches.
Oh shit! Now we know. Now we know.
Man, let's hope there's not a Salem bitch hunt. That would be crazy.
I'll be leading it. I know who to look for. Universe 9393, Saturday, 12:45 a.m. All right. So some worlds are filled with supernaturals. Others have no sign of them. Let's see. But the one thing all universes have in common, human or otherwise, there's always monsters. And I love that. So, and there's more like that plays into the story, I feel, a lot. Like that's a little bit of a foreshadowing, whether you are aware of it or not. It's a little foreshadowing to some events that happen within this story.
For sure. Yeah, like what Tommy was saying earlier, where you were saying, Tommy, that you could tell from this story that I'm like a big fan of like the 90s comics and stuff. I kind of tailored this script and story specifically for Graveyard Shift, and with the tagline of John always saying this is X-Men meets the Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
This is
stop right there,
specifically written to be as X-Men of a single character story I could do, you know, and mixed with some horror, you know.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it. I mean, you did a great job with that, because it definitely gave me those vibes when reading the book right off the bat. You know, like I felt that X-Men vibe, you know, and the art absolutely helped sell that as well. There was a comment here. I was going to bring it up.
Yeah, I definitely felt very X-Men. I felt a little Dresden Files, actually. If you're aware of what
Warehouse 13.
Yeah, certain things remind me of Dresden Files a little bit. I mean, it's completely its own thing, but I see the influences of certain things within it. Definitely, there is a very big. I get a very big Cable feel.
Oh yeah, I think that's
100%. Yeah,
what Mark and John, like, this is their Cable for sure.
Yep. Patrick said reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man, like 90s John Romita Jr. Style as well.
I'll take it.
Yes, I mean,
it's good.
Yeah, as long as it's tickling that nostalgia bone, which is what I felt when I read this, you know, or when I was looking at the art. And I think that's great, because again, like I said, I think this is the way comic books should look. There's a certain style that comic books should look like, and within that style there's a bunch of different iterations, but there is a certain way comic books should look, and this is just it. You know it when you pick the book up, when you start to read it, if it looks like comic book art or not.
Like
so
candy coated monsters, you know.
Yeah, and you guys nailed it.
This page on the left hand side here, that is one of my favorite pages within this book.
Yeah, this was a beautifully drawn page.
It's gorgeous artwork. Give me 1 second as I let my fat cat out, or he's going to continue to cry.
Another great upshot. You got those really creepy kind of blues as well. I love how Anthony George kind of blurred out the bottom of this cross. You get really a sense of the rain coming down and creating like this mist and steam.
Yeah, everywhere he colored lightning looks really good.
Oh yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. Yeah, solid stuff.
Everything looks beautiful about that. I love everything about that page on the left-hand side, just artistically. It's
Toll's got that drip
simple,
going.
but a lot going on
Yep.
at the
Drip,
same time.
yeah.
Got the drip. See, Patrick said I stopped collecting new comic books after House of M. That was a little while. The modern ones, at least. Yeah, I feel you on that. John Rose said that splash is just freaking fire.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So good.
Thank you.
Jasper, I highlighted your earlier question, and we'll get to that after we're done with this section, but I got it starred, so we will definitely go back to it.
Cool.
That's one of my favorite poses I did over on the right side.
Right there.
The gun shooting.
Yeah, the gun shooting one. Yeah, I like
What the super fun thing about this story too is it's 90s comic action. So he has a bunch of one-liners, suck on this, hey, bad breath. So I was able to play into that, just make it as fun 90s action as possible.
I feel like
Hail Eddie Winkler. He says Tommy
can
can draw a sovereign wolf whenever he wants.
Hell yeah. That'd be great.
To you, brother.
I feel like, Phil, this is a very different writing style now that I've seen from you.
Mm-hmm.
As if you're not versatile, I always have spoke on how you're very versatile with how you write, but this is something different I've seen from you, different from your Lost Pages stuff and your Magic Cop stuff. And
I had a lot of fun with this. And
did you feel more pressure having to basically, submit your script to somebody else? Or
I don't
Man, I would.
I don't know, because
did you do things differently than you normally would?
No, I kind of, when I start plotting something, I'll plot it in bullet points and then use those bullet points, scene to scene, and then use those bullet points to go off of to start writing the script, and then, kind of add those points and then improv some stuff to add, as I'm going, add new ideas into it. I was just kind of worried on hitting the deadlines and then getting to that editing phase. I didn't really have time to worry about that. I was just having a lot of fun. And I think I was really excited with the basic plot that I had, and I already knew where I was going and how to end this thing. I was just having a blast. And once I finished it, I'm super excited about this. Let's, get the artist on it, start seeing pages. Like, that was the part where it's like, okay, my hands are off this thing. Now I could just watch it and have fun seeing it be made and pages come in from Tommy. I just had a blast, and I was like, man, when this thing comes out, I think this is going to be one of the best stories I've ever written. I was really excited about it.
And Kayla, I'm going to put you to work for a second. You see on the right there, you see Nail Bunny's comment. You want to just highlight that and bring it up? I'm trying to show Kayla the ropes here. There we go. See, that's all her. I'm
Joe is my
here.
sensei.
Yeah. Showing her how it's all done. It says, which of you picked the onomatopoeias?
So Eric Weathers lettered this, but for a final script, John wanted me to put in all sound effects. So
really?
I think I put in all the sound effects. I probably threw in a splort in there for Eric as well.
There you go. Well, because you do lettering too, so you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and then we did do the lettering pass after the whole book was drawn and colored. So it was me, John, and Eric sitting down late, going from page to page, figuring out the lettering. And then after a day of that, I was sent like a copy of the script where it had spots where I needed to add balloons or whatever, just to fill in space. And that was kind of like the final pass of things. And then they went over it a final time.
Got Don Edwards said, "God dang it," or God
dang it.
God
dang it.
dog, yeah, whatever. I see the brilliant work, and I just want to thrash my crap. That went up. My crap and start all over again. Very inspirational. New fan here, Tommy. Can't wait to see more. Well, that's
what I
compliment.
do. I tear my stuff up and start over again.
I was just saying,
more often than you think.
Yeah, we all do that more than anybody thinks, for sure. Hail Muttman, and I got an erection is here too. That's awesome. I got one too. Just so you know.
And guys, if you dig this, what you're seeing here, and you haven't gotten a chance to get your hands on the book, there are copies available on the new Graveyard Shift campaign. So you can get this book as well as Graveyard Shift Omega Storm,
which we will take a look at a little bit later too, so you guys will get a chance to see that
as well.
Once we're done through this, we'll pull that up because for sure.
I like my cam real quick. I want to show you a page I did recently for the Omega Storm.
All right.
And all right, so this bottom panel here is it's getting redrawn. Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Really?
Why?
No, it's okay. He wants to show the ship leaving more, and he feels like it being in the foreground too is like people might not read it exactly right. The ship leaving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, it's a good thing also because the top of this page.
Oh, sorry.
The top of this page was
that's
almost a replay of that same panel, like same zoom level. And John wanted me to zoom out so I could show the jets of air coming out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And I drew it, and I was just like, man, I don't know, it's missing something. So I decided to put in the wording myself.
I was just about to say, I see that.
Dude, I'm like super happy with this panel.
Looks
cool.
Dude. Get the
I love that wording there.
Daniel Warren Johnson's really good at that stuff. What is Max Headroom going on here?
They got pills for that. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
They have a pill for
everything. There we go.
So this was like this to me, the whole situation here within the book was like a big twist that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I love twists.
Yeah, I love that.
Should we skip the twist just in case?
I think we should. We should.
We got to save a few pages. There's people that haven't bought it that are going.
Well, the twist isn't there. The twist is at the end.
I will tell everyone there is a twist.
Oh, that's not the twist you want to skip, is that part?
Well,
no, that's not a twist there. It's at the end.
It's at the end. That is just that kind of leads into what the twist will be.
Right. So the basic premise of this is Brahm is a monster hunter, and his team is out on call, so he has to go answer a call to go to a different universe and find this monster, see if he's friendly or a bad guy. And if he's friendly, he's going to recruit him to his team. If he's bad, he's got to take him out. And in the early intro, you see his family was slaughtered. He had a son and a hot wife that he was banging on one of the pages.
Yeah.
And so he comes into the universe and saves this kid from a big vampire bat and realizes it's his son's doppelganger from this universe. So now he has to deal with that and that emotional connection and how that plays into what he has to do in this world.
Yeah.
And then here, that panel is one of my favorites, that him looking over his shoulder. It's like, it's right before a page turn when you get introduced to a new villain. But
that was a redraw too. The first version of that panel was terrible.
I remember. It wasn't terrible, but
the other villain there had such a cool design. I thought it was a really cool design. I liked the costuming kind of on him, like what was so.
Now,
Let me tell you a little secret about comics.
What can we show and not show?
I'll tell you a secret about comics. Costumes are a nightmare.
So cool. Why? You think they're a nightmare? Why?
Look, shoulder pads look cool, but when a guy's like trying to jump and punch, how do you draw that shit? You know,
you got to be
crazy.
Like, all right. Yep.
So like the design,
that's where the cheating comes in just a little bit with certain things.
That's where the comic book comes in. Yes, that's where you're like, all right, I'm gonna make this work. And same thing with the bad guy here. You know, he's got these crazy wings and how they were attached. Then he's like supposed to be punching, and I'm just like, I'm just like, well, I got to make this shit up. So here we go, and just try to make it look cool on the page, you know.
Hold it here for a second because I have the script of this page too. And this design was John did the concept off of my script which was really cool.
Really,
I kind of
nice.
I love this.
Snuck in these new characters because when I was writing the script, I didn't know which villains to put in. So I asked John, I'm like, hey, could I create some new villains? And he's like, well, we'd rather you not because we don't want to have to deal with, rights stuff.
Yeah.
And
right.
I'm like, I'm just going to do it anyways. You guys should just have the rights or whatever. So I created these two villains, the two main villains in this. So let me read it. So this is page 24. And so in the script it says 3 small panels inset to a splash. Panel 1, we see Brom flying backwards, colliding with the light pole. His gun flies out of his hand, and then in the narration bubble he says that speed. In panel 2, Brom is sitting on the ground, back to the pole. He quick draws his cowboy gun from his front holster, and then there's some sound effects. In panel 3, there's a close-up of Brom dropping the gun as the steel barb is shot into him and piercing his hand. And then there's some narration. And then here's my splash description. So splash is the reveal of Razor Wing, the boss bat. He looks like if you took a werebat, which is one of the characters earlier, and threw him into a 90s X-Men book. His cross, he is a cross with Archangel and Omega Red and Man-Bat. So that was kind of like the amalgam of these guys in reference. But more jacked, for sure the alpha, metal bat wings that hang under his jacked arms. He could shoot his metal nail barbs from his wings, steel teeth and fangs like a cyborg vampire, leader of the werebats. He is in pose with one arm forward because he's just stopped the barb at Brom. The other arm, which is and metal wing in the air raised, ready to kill the kid. He looks imposing, confident, and the kid is on the ground in the foreground. And then I have, the narration and dialogue there.
I was hoping a stretch goal to sell razor wing grills for people to put in.
Steel
pass. The page over there on the other side is actually, I think that might be my favorite page in the whole book. And Jimmy's inks on that page are incredible. There are a few different styles you can render in, and it seems like a lot of people like doing the Dave Finch thing. And I love Dave Finch, but with so much of that being done, I've been looking at a lot of Jim Lee, and I kind of like how Jim Lee will stack lines on top of one another, and not necessarily crosshatch, just stack lines. And if you look at the big finger there in the foreground, Jimmy really nailed that.
Yeah, that definitely, as far as an artist looking at this and appreciating the art, that was the first thing I noticed was the line work on the hands in this in that last panel, or the farthest panel there. I was like, oh, that just caught my eye right off the bat. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Almost reminds me of Little Keown too, for some reason, just the way it's done.
My buddy was saying that my pencils were looking a lot similar to his, and it's probably going to get more so like that because I've been looking at a lot of his work and Dan Dahl's work, and even and Rob Willis too a little bit, even though he's more of a Platt kind of influence.
Definitely more Platt, Low Keown in his stuff.
I'm liking the Keown and Dan Dahl, like the longer rendering across things. Like I tend to like just do the stack up with the hatching, but I think I might want to start going long ways of it. I don't know. It's just art thing. You got to keep yourself seeing your art. So sometimes you change the way you draw one or two things a little bit. Sometimes you even change your damn pencil. Just changing a pencil will wake you up a little bit.
When people finally get a chance to read Reaper Destroyer when it's done, the normal person reading it might not catch it, but artists reading it will see where I experiment throughout the book. And I'll experiment with different ways of rendering and different line work just on stuff that might have influenced me at the time or things I just wanted to try, and I think that's the beauty of being a comic book artist. You're not stuck in
Quesada
a
used to
box.
do
You have
that.
to do everything.
Yeah, Joe Quesada used to do that a lot too. You'd see, some panels were like drawn super realistic shading, and then the next panel would be like super cartoony.
Right.
So I wanted
Hail,
to say,
Mr. Von Stugel.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Monstugel. I wanted to say about that scene there, and it continues into this next page.
Yeah.
Is we were able to kind of give this ability to Brahm because I really wanted to make this, like I said, as X-Men as possible.
Mhm.
And looking at like a lot of the past Graveyard Shift stuff, there's not a lot of unique powers and abilities that kind of set these characters apart. So I wanted to give Brahm the ability to use his suit and injects himself with these hormones and enzymes that trigger his werewolf ability and just forces it into one part of his body. So now he's got that jacked werewolf arm because he used that serum, and he could run super fast, and has these enhanced reflexes. So now he has kind of like a unique power to Brahm, and
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Go forward and use that hopefully in future issues here too.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. I like that. Good idea,
Thanks,
man.
I was trying to get Phil to write in my vitamin stack that I was taking for COVID.
Yeah,
yeah, it was that. What it was.
Such a fan of such a fun read and badass art. Mr. Von Stugel had said this was the best part of Graveyard Shift 4 campaign. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the next Graveyard Shift or the Omega Storm that's coming out specifically for this reason. I mean, the art definitely pulls you in. Obviously, Phil, you did a great job with the story. You guys are a great combo here all together. Like this.
Thank you. Yeah, Phil and I will work together again soon.
Maybe one day.
Hail, Jimmy Reyes, inker.
We were talking about how good your inking is.
Yeah, I could go on and on about Jimmy.
I would say, I mean, if Jimmy's not doing anything, I can shoot him a link if he wants to jump on.
Yeah,
no worries there.
That last panel too, there with the eye, it looks like I loved that close up. So
yeah, that's sick.
And then it's a perfect like jumping off point for the big double page spread that comes next. Like this fight I'm so happy we were able to add more to this too, because every time I would get edits back, John would be like, "Hey, let's add some more pages and extend this scene here." So we actually had a lot of room. Now we probably haven't mentioned this, but originally the pitch was for I think a 26-page story. And as the editing process went on, we extended it to 48 pages, which gave that foundation, that solid foundation, a lot of room to breathe. And at the same time, I think created a concise one-shot.
No, yeah, the longer format definitely helps with a one-shot like this. We got Noah in the house. Hail, Noah. He said, who did the colors? This was Anthony George. Did a fantastic job.
This is another page I really love. With it.
Amazing. So cool.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to pause it here. Like this was just, I love the panel layout in the background, the foreground, just the big action pose, punch, shot here. Very
really
90s.
Love his colors on this page.
Yeah, knocks it out. Muttman said, I love the panels. I like the panels. Good storytelling. Excuse me, I got a cough.
I think everyone worked together cohesively as a team on this, and it shows just because of how everything looks.
Uh-oh. I got a message from John. He's like, we got to stop showing stuff. We're showing too much.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap.
Did you get a message?
Yeah. He said, don't let them spoil it. Because we're still trying to sell copies on the new campaign. So,
that's right.
So go over there and back the new book.
So, and we can definitely pull up that campaign right now. I think we should do that.
Who had a question in the chat? Noah. Noah asked me before we move on if there's any homages to Lobo.
Oh, I knew you were going to go to that question.
And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, no, but there is. There's Toll, the bad guy, he has a chain hook. He has two of them. He's got 2 hooks and chains. It's like Lobo, but I don't think that was a conscious thing. But I mean, it's just cool. It probably was.
It was subconsciously within you.
He's better because he's got 2 hooks.
It felt more serial killery to me.
Just so John knows, we weren't going to do any spoilers.
No, I was not going to allow any spoilers.
Yep.
It's not even my show, and I wasn't even.
The ending is the best.
I knew where it was going to go.
Yeah. That was about getting close to all we were going to show.
The fight scene at the end is just
the best.
Awesome. So
the best pages.
The best pages. The chains. Tommy drew these intricate chains.
Yeah.
By hand.
Oh.
He didn't use a chain.
That's one thing I wish that people could see, because that panel with the chains.
There's more than that, though. That makes that even more awesome. It's just going across everywhere that scene was occurring was absolutely.
We weren't going to show that because that was pretty, yeah. If
drawing chains is like doing algebra. You just like sit down and like grind. You know.
Oh, it was just gorgeous.
I try to rotate them here and there so they're not all kind of uniform.
Yeah. Drawing chains sucks.
Worked.
They look so cool. They look so cool, but they suck so bad. Like,
I have
not fun to draw, but they look damn cool.
I have a page that Tommy sent me that has some chain work on it. It's
I don't know if you
only.
Can show it. So.
Yeah, let me see.
Can you show it? Or
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
No, it's not spoilers. It's just from the fight scene.
All right.
I just have to make sure.
John's got everybody shook now.
Yeah, we're shook.
I'm not shook because it's not my book.
I'm not scared. Not my book either.
So this was really cool, and I think this is something you did. It wasn't in my script. You did actual panel splits with the chains.
Yeah.
I loved all that.
Yeah.
Don't pull it. Can you pull it?
Don't go
it's
down
trying to do
far.
some of the,
there's no spoilers on it.
It's trying to do the McFarlane kind of page designy thing and make that element of the storytelling too.
Look at this guy.
That's the exact page I was actually talking about, Tommy. Like that's what caught my eye as far as page design and everything. I loved how you use the chains as the panel borders. Yeah. I do that a lot in my comic book with the cape. I'll use the cape because my character has a long flowing cape and everything kind of like spawns, and I'll use that as sometimes panel borders. It's just a fun design element for a page. And this was awesome.
It's just so cool. And then look at even this is a far away shot, and
detail is great.
The detail, and then seeing you guys got to get the book, because seeing what Jimmy does with these pencils totally makes it work. You get all that detail still.
Yeah, I would love to see, because I'm such a nerd with that kind of stuff. I would love to see the process of the pencils, and then get a chance to see what the inks look like, and then into the colors. But because I love, like we were talking about before, the relationship between a penciler and an inker, and just how it changes from the raw pencils, even if it's tight, nice rendered pencils, but just an actual inker that knows what he's doing with line weights and everything, what they bring to those pencils, and how it just brings it out and just looks so polished and professional, and everything looks awesome. Speaking of the coach,
there he is.
Yeah, that
no
says it all.
Exclamation points goes with the ellipses.
Yeah. Muttman said that page is righteous. Best one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd like to show one more page from the Megastorm.
Yeah, sure.
It's just a
I'm down to see
a character's talking page. And it's probably my favorite one.
Wow.
They're just in the lab working.
Nice perspective there.
And I was real happy with the acting on this.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's good face. Yeah.
Time
really
lapse.
good
faces, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things John's been a stickler on, is getting my faces more handsome.
Yeah.
And
I
had to knock back some of the cartooniness.
Right. When it comes to faces, who are some of the artists that you look at for not inspiration, but just I guess inspiration when it comes to drawing face? Like for me, I look a lot at Silvestri and Lee and guys of that nature, because that's where the age I am for when I came up.
Well, I've always really been into the cartoonier stuff, like Otley and Stegman. But John wanted me to go more toward Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld type stuff. So, and it's helped. It's made my faces like a lot better. I've shrunk the features. I was drawing the features a little too big.
Yeah.
The mouths was one thing he was particularly wanting me to draw smaller mouths. I was drawing them too, like Eric Larson draws like kind of these crazy gritting teeth.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, he said, cool it on that. So.
Yeah, I noticed that definitely shrinking features on faces can make a character look more attractive, both male and female. When it comes to stuff like noses, even like a slightly smaller nose can just give a little bit more of attractive look to a face. It's interesting when you play around with those concepts. I got a cough again. Sorry.
It's okay.
And then.
So yeah, here's the new book.
So. Because I feel like when you shrink noses, it makes the eyes look more appealing when you shrink certain features. So here's the new book.
Yeah, let's take a look at the new book real quick. So if anyone is interested and you like what you saw with that Brahms story, this is the new book that is out right now, Graveyard Shift and Megastorm, that Tommy is drawing right now. So
140 pages.
Holy shit.
It's a big boy.
Yeah,
it's actually more than that. I've been working on layouts, and sometimes as you're copying the format, stuff will be misnumbered and whatnot. And there's actually a couple extra pages in there, and I think John's mentioned he wants to maybe expand 2 or 3 scenes, so it may end up being like 150, 155.
Wow,
that's gonna be awesome,
crazy, man.
I see there's some Brahm in the background there.
Yes, there is.
Is he gonna be in here?
Oh, spoiler.
Isn't he in the background of the shot? Or is it
just he's back there over right above the gold chick.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of characters in there.
Bad side. Yeah, I don't know. There's like 50 characters.
Yeah, right above Lilith.
That's so cool.
The women's body proportions look very good.
Thanks.
Boobies the way they should be. Yeah.
Curvy, and I love that.
Now this is damn impressive. This makes me jealous. When I first saw this, I was like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Yeah, all these perspective lines. That's what like.
I was like, "God damn, that's awesome."
Even in that talking scene, you just held up. You could see all the line work like that to get all the perspectives right.
Could you
and that's
full screen that?
You could probably pop it out of if you right.
Oh yeah, here. Yep, good call.
Tab.
I'll just pull it out here. I'll just pull it out.
That's what she said.
That's what I love about Tommy's art. He's not afraid to do weird perspectives, and it gives it a more dramatic angle to it, and just sets the mood in whatever panel you're dealing with. It's a highly dramatic panel, cool action pose, get some kick-ass perspective in there.
Yeah, the story really dictates that sort of thing. It's like, well, I got to do some sort of crazy perspective to fit all this in and still have dialogue, So
we'll take a look at that in a second, because I'm gonna have to close this down to pull that up. I just wanted to cruise through some of the art here. Sorry, I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's fine. And Bram, the one we just went through quite a bit extensively, is also available on this campaign.
Yes.
So.
Which you should definitely add that on if it's an add-on, because
don't miss it again.
The story is great. The twist in it really, really good.
There we go. So. The supplemental 3 and 4 Patterson pack, so you can get both of those for 85 right there. I definitely recommend it. I mean, the supplemental books to the Graveyard Shift campaigns have all been really, really good. And I missed the first one, so that's the only one I haven't seen yet. I never got a chance to see the first one. It was a little bit before my time when I came into CG and started backing campaigns. But this last one, Tommy can share the high res. The page is public. Oh, okay, cool. Well, good, because the one I pulled off is not high res.
Yeah, I wonder if the inks are done on that too. That would be cool to see.
Oh, that'd be sick. I sent Jimmy a link if he's got a chance and wants to jump on. But yeah, anyway, the books themselves, the supplemental books have been great. Just expanding the universe, getting to know more characters. The talent that John and Mark have brought on to the books as well, like Phill and Tommy and a bunch of other people have come on and done work for them, has been a joy to see. And the art has always been top notch, comic book level stuff. And I know that I've heard some people complain about the actual book for the actual book for art for the main book. Not necessarily for everybody when it came to Jose's style, which I thought was well done. I thought the book was well done. But I think a lot of people, they see kind of stuff like this and they hear Tommy that you're going on and doing the Omega, the next thing we're getting, which is the Omega Storm. I think that makes people excited because, again, like I said, this is the kind of stuff you open up and it's comic book art. Just right, boom, right there. Like
you're getting
it's what a comic book should look like,
The thing I love about Graveyard Shift is there's a lot of characters, and I love the fact that Mark and John do the supplemental stuff, which are just more focusing on the characters. You spend more time with them, you get to know them, and then when they're in these big environments interacting with other characters, you can be like, oh yeah, I know that guy, and he would act like this, or oh, the stakes are higher because I know what's happened in this person's past. So I think that's awesome that they're able to do that, kind of flesh these characters out one at a time.
I agree with you 100%, Phill, as someone that enjoys reading the comics as much as they enjoy looking at them, because story and, just finding out more about the characters is important. Then you get more of an attachment to them as well. Mm-hmm. And then I think also too, like creatively, I think it also, in certain ways allows whoever is creating this stuff to know where to go from, or maybe what characters that were received well, so they could be featured more or whatnot. That's just my opinion.
I think that the supplemental books are a fantastic idea. I don't know if this was something that John and Mark came up with, or if it's something that they saw other people do. They're the first creators I know that actually do the supplemental books.
Well, they're just trying to give back to the community a bit too, and offer up some jobs. I mean, at one point he had like, I don't even know how many people working for him. Crazy amount.
Yeah, he had a lot of artists on the last book, writers as well. But it does a great job. One, it gives something else for the campaign. So basically 2 books for the campaign, but it allows you to dive more into the world without putting the pressure on the main book to bring all those characters out, so it's definitely expanding the universe without having to worry so much about tying everything into the main story. And then you can bring these characters in, like Phill said, because you've already established them, them, you kind of know how they work. So when they show up in the main books, when they do, or if they do, you already know who they are. So I mean, it's a great way of expanding your universe. I'm going to probably do that in the future the longer I go, and I think more people are kind of adopting that idea to bring in more IPs and more characters. So just really good idea.
Yeah, I think once campaigns hit like a 75,000 to 100,000 threshold, that's the time to start giving back, really, for lack of a better way to explain it. I think it strengthens the community,
Yeah, of course, obviously the campaign's got to do pretty well. Like you said, people afford to do something like that because it does cost money, because you're hiring other people that you might not normally do.
Right.
But yeah, so if you have the ability to do supplementals, I think it's great to, one, bring new people onto the project, give other people chances, paid work, and then also expand your IPs, expand the universe, and just give us a more, kind of complete sense of what you're doing. Because as a guy that grew up in the 90s, I loved Image Comics. As you guys know, you follow this channel, and I loved all the studios within Image Comics had their own universe, even though everything was still kind of shared within Image. There was a Wildstorm universe, Extreme Studios, Top Cow, and they, had all these different titles, and they were able to do that back in the day. The closest you can do that now is what John and Mark are doing with the supplemental books, and you're just expanding that stuff. So, I mean, to me, that's what it reminds me of, is your own kind of studio within whatever we're doing here,
right,
as a whole.
Well, so going into this, like you look at like bands, and then like somebody feels like they get bigger than the band, then they leave, or you look at the studios, how they were, right, and all these awesome, they have like awesome talent, they grow the talent, and then the talent leaves. They're constantly like shuffling to refill it, And once John saw that I was dependable, that's what I told him. I'm like, dude, I got no ego about this. I'll gladly ride your coattails for as long as you'll have me, right?
Right. Yeah.
Seriously, because like I can get out and stream and cut up with people. I just don't know how much, I guess, fight to go out and fight people. I would rather spend that energy drawing a friggin' page, you know?
Yeah.
So I got to look at streaming
sure,
more.
yeah.
I got to stream more. I just got to figure out my own take of it, because I don't know that my blood pressure could handle fighting these clowns out there, you know?
Well, I mean, it's not for everybody, you know. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I don't really do that much on this channel because I feel the same way. Like, you know, I'm focusing on my book and all my energy is going to what I create. And I want the streams that I do just to be fun streams where we can look at art and stuff. Everybody else can handle that, and there's a ton of people that do handle it, you know.
Right.
But I think
handle it very well.
They handle it very well, exactly,
Yeah.
better than I could, honestly. You know, so it's like we do what we do here, and it's you know, it's a niche. It works for people, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, that's my hope is he'll keep me around a good long while, and we'll build out his universe and make it a place where you know, other people can come in and help build it up too.
John is a very fair dude. I mean, if you show reliability, I mean, you got a place with the dude, you know, reliability and obviously production wise, and I think he's definitely found a really good piece within you, Tommy, for doing art that I think is great, and I think people are seeing it too. They see the style of the art; it fits the book. I know a lot of people. I mean, I'm extremely excited for Godlike. You know, in order to have John do Godlike, he obviously had to step away from Graveyard Shift, which a lot of people were disappointed because we like to see John's art. But bringing in someone like you and just kind of picking up where he left off after having a few different artists kind of come through, I think this fits. I think what you're doing fits. You know, like I really do. Absolutely, man. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I know I've been flying under the radar. Like I said, though, I mean, it's just like, you know, I'm trying to meet deadlines and get these pages done. I got to just figure it out to get online more and hang out, you know, go on different streams and stuff. So
yeah, that's really all
my next goal.
You know?
Yeah. Well, Tommy does have a YouTube channel. You could go sub to it at Tommy the Comic Guy.
There you go.
He randomly does morning streams and draws.
I don't know how many mods we have on the channel still, but if we have any mods in the chat still, if you could find that and drop it, that would be awesome. Muttman said, "How many pages is a Graveyard Shift supplemental?" Are you talking about Omega Storm or are you talking about the Brahm?
Oh yeah,
might as well just tell them both.
So the Brahm supplemental 3 is 48 pages. This campaign was 150, 140 pages.
Yeah, this is huge. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
There's Tommy's channel, guys. If you want to check out more of this stuff and just help support Tommy, his channel as well, go sub to that. Appreciate you.
Tommy, pull up that spread that's on this page.
Yeah, pull up that spread while you're doing that. I'm going to play this trailer.
John gave the permission to pull up that spread with the spaceship that's on this campaign page.
Yeah,
well, I tell you what, I have it printed out. I'm on my tablet.
Oh, cool.
Laptop's back there. I could post it on Twitter, though.
Yeah, or just send it to me in a message. As long as it's like high res and we can zoom in, that's all. Look, or that works too. All right, here's the trailer, real quick, guys. I think maybe yeah. 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 That looks awesome.
Those look awesome.
Hell of a cool trailer. Great music with that one. All right, cool. Phil got this. Let's pop this up.
Look at it.
Amazing. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Can you full screen that, Joe?
Yeah.
I want to make that the whole screen. Because there's so much detail. Like, wow.
Here we go. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is absolutely beautiful. Everything
damn
about
impressive.
That.
All pencils.
Damn impressive.
And when it gets inked,
wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd love to see the inked version and see what is Jimmy doing inks on this too?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see the inks in this as well. But yeah, this is just the depth and perspective of this page is just insanity. How long did it take you to do this, Tommy?
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know, a long time. It was not a 3-page week that week.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, this was, I don't know, 25 hours probably. Do a Control Plus if you can and zoom in on the staircase.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if the res will come through or not, but all those little tiny figures are fully rendered, bro.
Wow.
Holy crap.
How
all
the
faces have features.
How the hell? Because that's even though it's a double page spread, that's still pretty tiny. Like not that many people can draw things that small with that detail. I would like to know what Jimmy thought when he went into ink this. Of course, he's doing it digitally, so it might not have been that much of a deal, you know. But yeah, it's impressive, man.
I have to get Jimmy a Christmas present this year.
You're right.
This is gonna be so cool. Like when it's done and colored, there's gonna be even more depth to this. You know, be able to feel that atmosphere as you go back into the background behind the ship and stuff. That's gonna be so cool.
It's fun drawing stuff like that. There's a certain amount of meanness that a person has to have to draw something like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when other artists see it, they're going to be like, oh, gosh, I know what he went through for this. You know, and then it's going to make them like a little bit jealous, you know? So that's kind of what.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Like, yeah, occasionally you draw stuff for that reason, right? You try to show show out a little bit.
1,000%. And you know, I've said this before on this. Well, I don't know if it's been on this stream or just when I've talked about it before, but you have to have some kind of an ego, right? I mean, there's a little bit you want to flex sometimes, right? So when you're working on something like this, you know what it's looking like when you're doing it. When people see it, you know that there's going to be that reaction, and you get that. You know, you should have that satisfaction, being like, you know, guys like me and everybody else seeing this, being like, holy fuck, like this makes me jealous seeing something like this. First, I don't even know if I would have attempted this big of a scale and just what I'm doing. So it's just impressive, man. Like, yeah, kudos to you, dude. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, when I got the script, I was like, oh, so John's going to do this to me, huh? Okay, all right.
Leandro asked, what size pages do you use?
11 by 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do the trim shit down the middle or any of that. I just tape them together and draw to the edge. You know, in the computer generation, they can size it in, and if they have to, sometimes skew it a little bit, even though you don't want them to do that. But
that, and you've got most of
I give plenty to work with.
Yeah, I say you got most of the information where it needs to be. So if it had to be cropped in any kind of way, you're not losing any of the the important stuff of the page. I do the same thing too, like the whole cutting of a double or 11 by 17s to cut it completely correct and get them together. It's just like, no thanks.
I'm I worked at the local print shop for off and on a few times, and I can go in there anytime I want and cut the pages on the knife. But
nice, yeah.
You know why? Just tape it together and figure it out.
Yep. I mean, if people wanted to be highly technical, I mean, you could tape it together and then you just take like an inch and a quarter from each side, and you just don't draw there, and that should be pretty much within. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's beautiful work, man. Beautiful work. So yeah, guys, this is Graveyard. Oh shit, why am I full screen.
Graveyard Shift, Omega
Graveyard
Storm.
Yep. The 7 days left. 7 days left. Is this the first 30?
Yes, first 30.
Okay.
Then, so
is John going into another 30?
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll do
Okay.
another 37 days.
This does not go in demand, though, everybody.
It does not go in demand. Don't blow it. Don't do what you did with Bram and miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
Make
Bram
sure
on
you-
this one.
Yeah, make sure you get this in the time it's allotted to get it. Otherwise, shit out of luck, my friends. Shit out of luck.
John is so hardcore, bro.
Yeah, he is. He's the only one that does it. But I mean, it works for him, so it hasn't failed him yet.
It puts more value in like a collected edition down the road, So
that's for sure.
That is very true.
Yeah, when he collects all this stuff, when he does the big old omnibus or just collection of the first story arcs here, yeah, that's definitely gonna go. I think that's gonna be a good campaign as well.
Maybe one day I could talk him into doing like a oversized pencil version perk or stretch goal. I think that'd be fun. Or inked version even,
Dude,
half and half.
I say it all the time. If you got really good art on a campaign, you should always put out, in my opinion, a black and white version of the book and or a penciled version of the book. Like, I really love what Tucci does, what Billy Tucci does with his roughs.
Yeah.
And also the so he does like a line work version, which is like the pencils, and he does the rough version, which is like the real rough layouts. I think everything that's great for collecting. I love it. I think more people should try to do that. If it doesn't sell, don't do it again. But I think people should at least give that as an option.
Yep. What did I
we had a couple questions. Let's see. Jasper had asked, will you be doing a Halloween themed appreciating episode like Kelly Jones or Wrightson? Probably.
What a great idea.
I just don't. Yeah, this.
What do you guys want to see? So I can send it to Joe because I tried to record videos that didn't happen. Do you guys want to see Dead Man?
Yes. Kelly Jones Dead Man would be great.
Do you want to see?
I would love to do I mean, shit, we can do. It doesn't even have to be Halloween. We can do these guys anytime we want.
Swamp Thing Wrightson.
Yeah, Wrightson would be awesome. I would love to look at some Wrightson. I have to get some Wrightson in my collection, and there's a few books I'm looking at that I would love to get and actually do streams on for sure. Don Edwards also asked, Tommy, how long does it take you to just pencil a page? I'm penciling and inking myself, and depending on the detail, it can be almost as much as 3 days for a page with colors or letters. Thanks. It's actually not bad to do like everything.
I'm finding that this team versus team versus team versus bad guy team is taking a little bit longer than Bram fighting one bad guy. So
that story was like what, there was a total of 6 characters throughout the whole Bram book, something like that.
So it just depends on how many characters are on the page. I mean, each page has on average of 25 plus characters, so that's a lot of math going on there. So I still try to do 3 pages a week. I'm about to finish the year strong as hell and get this done hopefully by the end of the year, if not first week of January. And it's going to ship in April, I believe.
Nice.
Oh,
so
yeah, I bounce all around. So I have no idea how long it takes me to really do things because I'll work on multiple pages at once, whether it's layouts or finishing. It's been a while since I've sat down and done just A to Z on a
I
page,
tried not to do that. I find I get myself in trouble leaving all the hard shit over 3 pages, and all of a sudden I got 3 pages of just backgrounds to draw.
I was just gonna say that, yeah. All of a sudden you're like,
dude.
shit, I gotta do all the backgrounds still.
John?
Do you focus on one page at a time or do you bounce around?
Yeah, 1 page at a time. And that new working method that I was talking about, getting the layouts done and getting them really tight, it makes it exponentially easier to focus in and do a page over the course of 2 days. I do like 6 hours a day. I can do more, but it's like a diminishing return, and I'm trying to keep a specific level of quality. And I find that I got 6 strong hours a day, and I'll be working 7 days a week for the rest of the year. So, but I like
Wow.
that 6
Have you
hours a
seen
day,
that?
7 days. It keeps me engaged. Like I find the more I draw, the more I want to draw.
Oh.
Right.
It's like a
That's
momentum kind of thing. I don't know.
it's 1,000% true because I think the longer you take off, you kind of it's almost like working out, right? The more you
Mhm.
work out consistently, you love it, you want to keep on doing it. Take a couple days off, and it's hard to get up in the morning to go work
I
out
can
again.
never go past like that 3 month workout plateau, dude. I'll be like lifting
Right.
weights, push ups, walking and all that. And at the end
Yeah,
of 3 months,
yeah.
like right as I'm starting to flex in the mirror, then I'm like, ah shit, I got this. I'm taking a week off and then I'm done for a year, you know? It's
Yep.
awful.
Yep. I feel the same way.
kid.
Jimmy Reyes, hail brother, he said, I want to draw a Reaper Destroyer cover. That would be cool, brother.
That would be
That would
awesome.
be really cool.
What?
Jimmy's been going crazy out there drawing on his Dragon Rage stuff.
Yeah, it's looking good.
He's trying some new techniques. It's looking cool.
I loved that first book. That was great. So I have a question. Of course,
Shoot.
I have a question. I always have a question, right?
It's your question.
What was some of the best advice or even criticism that you received from John while working with him? Like, both of you. That goes for you too, Phil.
You go
What
first,
a
Phil.
question. What a question.
Go first, Phil.
Me? I don't have
Even
it
if you
in
like,
my.
you know,
How about
my
this? How about
script
I give
anymore.
you my approach to handling any corrections John sends.
right.
First, you need to reframe it, right? He's not attacking your art.
no.
I don't see it as a critique. I see it as a challenge. So
Okay.
then, if I trick myself into thinking that plays into it, so I don't get like, fuck, I got to draw this again. No, I see it as a challenge to draw it better.
Here was
So-
my challenge. I sent in my script, and this was like on the first page of the narration opening scene when Brahm's fighting and he's talking about himself. One of the first edit critiques was make the narration less soy.
I've got a few of those. Less soy face.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I drew a
like
close up. It wasn't even a close up. I drawn two figures. It was like Vlad talking to Rick Rogers, and
Yeah.
I zoomed in and I took a picture of Vlad's like metal ass, and it was like real tight and hard. And I put it on Twitter, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what Comicsgate's all about. John's like, take that shit down, dude. I don't want people to see my book like that. I'm like, all right. I get it.
He made you take it down. I thought John was all about a nice tight ass shot. He always seems to
I was
Yeah,
surprised myself.
John-
that he-
Yeah.
I
Hail,
think
Sean.
what you're saying though is important because I think that too many people don't know how to take criticism and use it to their advantage and grow and learn from it and do better. Instead, they get really like, anyone, because obviously, if you're a writer or you're doing artwork or whatever you're receiving the criticism on, okay, we're all passionate about whatever it is that we do. You put your heart and your soul and everything into it. So it kind of makes us rigid in wanting to change things.
True.
So
Right.
you have to have an open mind when it comes to, hearing a critique, and you need to use it to your advantage because other people have different perspectives that you may not have. And you're not going to get better if you're not open to it and use what you're being told to your advantage,
Yeah,
So-
totally. There was a Michael Golden interview in Wizard back
Okay.
in '99, I guess, around the time Spartan X came out. And the way he talked about working and not seeing himself as a rock star and treating it like a 9-to-5 job made him able to do the work better and prioritize storytelling versus some of the other shit you can get caught up with,
Yeah.
So
I found
I wish I could do that.
the way to handle criticism, and not criticism, but like Kayla was saying, like the good kind of criticism that's trying to
good. You
Help
get signal
you out,
versus noise.
Constructive criticism.
the way to handle constructive criticism, you can handle it in like two phases. You can first deal with the emotion that hits that the pride in you for a second. Just deal with it for a second. Just let it out in your mind, and then do the acceptance. Like, so if I show somebody something and they say blah blah blah, I look at them like, first I want to be like, how dare you tell me that that's bad, like, motherfucker. And then I'm just like, you know what, god damn it, they're right, they're so fucking right. Now I got to fix that, and then you just deal with it and you go on. It's just yeah.
The first 10 pages of a Megastorm. The first 10 pages of a Megastorm were heavily critiqued and redrawn. And I told my wife, I'm like, hey, if he wants to pay me to redraw the same shit over and over, I guess I'll do it.
Did you see a difference though? If you compared the two?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's all worth it. Yeah, my face is better than ever. My art's better than ever. It's not even close. And that's why I say you got to treat it as a challenge.
That's and that is the thing. That is absolutely the thing. Like, the more, I think the first urge is for someone to be offended, right? Because like Kayla said, you do put so much into it, and maybe you see it in a certain way that other people don't. But having an extra set of eyes, a fresh set of eyes looking at it that's not your tainted view of your own art is good, because it'll allow you to actually see what they see when they point it out. And then when you fix it, the way that they're talking about fixing it, you see how it was improved. And once you see that actually happen, then you can be like, all right, I'm a little bit better at taking this corrective criticism because they're saying it for a reason. And if I do this, even though it might be against my want, it's going to look better in the long run, So eventually it's just getting over that ego is basically what
it makes me not want to screw up. It makes me want to get it right the first time. That's what it makes me want to do. Dude, like in the trailer, there's that opening scene where the chick's head's blown off and all that. It's a double page spread. I drew the double page spread twice. The first time I drew it, I was looking at a lot of Watchmen, and I love with Dave Gibbons. I love his art.
Yeah,
but what I'm going for and what John's going for is something totally different. And for whatever reason, I had too much Dave Gibbons in it. It was like super flat on the page.
Yeah, flat,
And John's like, "What are you doing? You killed all the drama. Redraw it." And I'm like, and what sucks is anytime I draw something and I think, well, does that look all right? I'm kind of worried. Like this guy looks a little too wide or too tall. I swear to God, John spots it every time. Like I've trained myself to listen to that voice, because that voice is John,
Right.
Inside of you.
That voice is John. Deep inside of you.
Yeah. So I redrew that double page spread, and then I printed out because it's a double page. I didn't feel like screwing with it in Clip Studio and all that. So I had my buddy make me a 3D grid of fisheye lens, and I printed it out up at the local print shop and traced the grid onto the back. So now that double page spread has like a bit of a fisheye to it. It's a lot cooler shot now, so
it's awesome.
It's going to be worth it. That's the blood, sweat, and tears I'm putting into this book. And I need you, the viewers at home, to go back it.
Go back it right now. Sheldon Martin said, "My ego won't let critique into the room. It's a struggle." Yeah, I feel you. Don Edwards also says, "Yes, I'm always seeking actual criticism when I post present or post to present my art. I very rarely get it. I don't need a heart or a like. Fucking tell me how and if I can improve. Always try to
follow. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I don't know. I can't keep up there, buddy. Follow me and send me a DM, and I'll give you a critique in the DM. That way it doesn't have to be public."
Here's the thing too, for any artist out there, don't just seek anybody's critique. Don't just put out on Twitter and say, "How do you guys like this?" Because you're going to get everybody and their mother telling you what they think about it.
You're going to get some trolls.
You're going to get trolls. You're going to get people that just, for whatever reason, actually seek out people that you respect, who have the skill to give you critique, whether it's a writer, whether it's another artist, an editor, whatever. Go to those people for critiques. Don't just put yourself out on social media and ask the world what they think of your art, because you're going to get a lot of stuff that you can just absolutely toss. People are going to give you all their opinion based on if they like your style of art or not. I mean, they might be. I saw somebody post, and I'm not going to say their name, but I saw somebody post art a while back, and I loved it. It was great. Very kind of 90s style. And it was that kind of thing. it was inviting people to say, what do you like about this art? And there were people on there that didn't like it just because it was too 90s, you know. And it's like, that's not a critique.
Well,
You
no,
know,
that's
somebody's opinion about the art.
You have to know what a critique is, and when someone is just sharing their opinion, you know, a critique, you know, someone's going to be able to tell you, well, if this is like this, and I see this here, you know, and
Absolutely.
you want someone that definitely has expertise with what they're talking about. The other thing I would say too is to avoid yes men, because there are going to be people that are going to say everything is good, everything is good, everything is good. No, everything that you produce is not always going to be good. So you want to avoid those people that are just going to tell you something's good just because of who you are as a person, or they're afraid of hurting your feelings. So you have to find the right people.
Yeah.
Don, you can also, if you want, message Kayla. She'll definitely let you know.
Whether you want
Kayla
Kayla
will definitely let you know
DMs?
straight up exactly. I'm just saying, like, she gives good critiques. I mean, she critiques my stuff too. Just in case you guys know. So, but she is a good one to toss art at, because she sees it the way she sees it, and she's got very good opinions when it comes to art, and very good ideas too. So, you know, if you're looking for good critiques, artists are good, writers are good, editors are good, but just find people that are knowledgeable about what they're talking about.
And if
You know,
someone
that's
tells you
all.
your stuff like sucks, ask them why it
Hell,
sucks.
Henry.
If they cannot describe to you why something sucks other than it sucks, I'm sorry, that's not someone that you want to take seriously.
Then they suck.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, because
absolutely.
I do see some of that too. Someone will be like, well, this sucks. Well, why does it suck? What is wrong with it?
Whenever
You can't say
Game of
it's a
Thrones first started,
you know? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
when Game of Thrones first started coming out, I was getting a lot of critiques like, it's not, the world's not like this. He's drawing it too Disney looking. And there were like multiple critiques like that on all these comic book sites. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. So I just started spotting more blacks and making it darker. And if you look around issue 6, maybe 5 or 6, you can see the art shift. And
it's 6.
It got better. Yeah, it got better. So signal versus noise, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
If somebody's like, "Oh, your art sucks, go suck a dick," you know, then it's like, yeah, well, okay, I'll definitely fix it for you, buddy.
Also,
it's gonna
listening
make
to
you better, you know. Sorry.
Learning to listen to critique is also something I've found, because again, like I said, everybody's going to give you a critique in a certain way, based on what they feel. It doesn't mean that it's bad, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true as well, if that makes sense. You know, like learn the good critique to take, try it, you know, see if it actually improves. I know that there are certain people out there, like Tommy and I were talking about earlier in the stream. We were talking about the untraining yourself with certain styles to get into more of a comic book style. You want to do like 11, foot head, 11 heads, or 13, whatever, in broader shoulders, all this kind of stuff, where somebody might look at that and be like, from a realistic point of view, they're going to give you a critique of what they think it should look like, because maybe they are more rooted in art school or something, which is not a bad critique, but just not, it might not have anything to do with what you're doing as that style of art. You got to take that in consideration too. Like you're drawing broader shoulders, longer legs for a reason, because it's that style. Somebody might come in and be like, hey, you need to shrink this, you need to do this, your proportions are off. And just take that with a grain of salt. Take what they're saying, see if it actually applies, learn to take it or not to take it, I guess.
And even that's the style thing, it's necessary for the type of comic I'm drawing,
Right.
I feel for this comic to be what it needs to be, it needs to be those proportions.
Exactly. Yep. That is absolutely the point. So like I see people on there that are like the art school majors or whatever, right? That know proportions inside and out, like all that kind of stuff. And they will kind of look down on the style that we kind of do, right? Because we're doing exaggerated proportions and poses and things of that stuff that's not natural to like the human body, so to speak. But for what we do, for the comic books that we're trying to sell and what we're trying to draw, it's correct. That's the way it should look,
My art teacher in college, hated my art. He's like, trained monkeys can do that. And then I would like thoroughly dominate figure drawing class.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Yeah, so I missed what John he said. Being shredded on old message boards by Anon,
Anon.
Anon, anal trolls. Oh,
Anon.
made me a much better artist. People tend to be too polite. I say go for it if you can. Go for it all if you can't handle it, or if you can handle it. Yeah,
and get it. You have to have a thick skin. If you don't have a thick skin, then this might not be the business for you. Just saying.
Yes, it is.
So you need to have a thick skin.
You absolutely do. Yeah, you're not going to get better if you don't have a thick skin.
No, you're not.
Everybody wants to feel what you're doing is great. That's what you want to feel. Like that's what makes you feel good and cozy inside. But that doesn't necessarily make you better. Better
when you're down in the dumps, go let mommy and daddy pat you on the back. But otherwise,
right?
Trying to get shit done here and get it done properly.
I think that's why I always am in the mindset, and this is something that I've always said to other people when I've interviewed them and everything. It's like, you don't want to consider yourself mastering anything because you want to be open to continually learn. Because if you have considered yourself mastering something, that means that you're going to miss out on learning a potential faster way to do something, a newer technique that's going to advance your work. And so on and so forth. So you never truly want to master anything because you want to
on any given day, I can wake up and hate everything I've ever drawn. And then I'm just like, I got to do better today. I don't like feeling like this. Yeah. And that's what I do. I try harder. So.
Well, that's what's being a writer, seeing the art come in for a page that I wrote. Like I'm working on the next Lost pages right now, and I'm getting pages in, and I'm like, this page is freaking amazing. Like this story has to live up to how good this art is.
Right.
So like right now, I just was hanging out with another writer yesterday, talking about my scripts, seeing what needs to be better and how I could, bump up the emotional stakes and stuff like that. Because I'm like, this art is too good. This script has to live up to it,
Mike McMahon said you can't take it personally and also look at what kind of person the shitty reviewers are. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So,
Nail Bunny said, I'm a masturbator. Me too. Me too. It's true with writers as well, especially if you write novels. I got a cough.
I would say, Phil, right? So I almost lost my train of thought for a second. But what I was going to say is, do you think when you receive those pages, or what if you receive a page that you're not too happy with, or how do you go about that?
That's when I fire Tommy.
Yes. The truth comes out.
What do you do if someone's this? Or how would you convey, as a writer, and you're hiring someone to, do art for you. Okay. Mm-hmm. What if you click with them, but then they produce artwork? All right. I know this is very tough. I think people need to hear. But if they produce artwork that does not match your vision, how do you go about that? Is business, or do you give them a chance to, I'm just wondering.
Well, you try to not get in that situation, right? So if I'm I'm thinking about starting a book with someone, I'll have them do concepts, so I could see their interpretation of the character, and if it's to the standards I want, or if it's hits in the same notes in the vision that I would like. So try not to put yourself in that position, so you don't have to deal with that, because if you're like, okay, hey, could you do some concepts for this book that I want to do? And you don't like them, then it's like, oh, we're going to go with someone else, some stuff like that. So, but if you get to that point, that's a situation you have to deal with, being like, hey, maybe this isn't a great collaboration that we thought it was going to be. We'll use you for a pinup or something in the future down the line, stuff like that. But try to be prepared for the right path you want to go down. So that's why I'm always looking at different artists and commissioning them for pinups or trying to get as in trying to get into a good communication flow with them, because that's another big thing dealing with artists and working with people. So communication has to be on point, because you don't want to be waiting around for 3 months with no interaction with them, and you're like pulling your hair out. Like, where the hell is this guy?
Communication is great just in general for whatever team is working on the book. I've found personally, when it comes to the writer artist connection, which primarily I've pretty much worked with myself with writers that are working towards my story, not the other way around. How much of an actual compromise is it, when you write something, right, and then Tommy might look at it and be like, hey, that's really cool, but I think it might look a little bit better if I arrange it this way, because I feel like that happens quite a bit. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it happens quite a bit where an artist might see it a little bit different for flow wise.
Well,
and approach it.
John is an artist himself, right? And even getting the script for Omega Storm, you'll find that when they're writing, they see it all, but then you realize that spatially, like literally in 3D, something might not be working that they're writing. Right. So you kind of got to adjust for that, Yeah. That's like the main thing I've ran into with everyone I've ever drawn. Any writer I've drawn a story for, spatially, when you're writing, you just can't really see it until you're on the page,
Right. No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Nail Bunny said, just a small critique for this stream, could use more cleavage. Tommy, I'm looking at you.
More double chin.
You have to unzip it.
I'll rip my shirt off like Hulk Hogan.
There you go. There you go.
If you did that, I would surely take a shot.
Oh, there you go.
My God.
Beasley,
no, Phill.
To quote Mike Tyson,
Bisley
That's one of my favorite Bisley.
What's the best?
Now you got Kayla going.
I don't like. He draws the best butts.
He
does draw some good butts.
I have the magazine. You guys talk.
I have that.
Here we go.
Too.
Here we go.
Did you get his new book with Dan Zig? Phill?
We've gone off the rails. It's gone Bisley. It's gone Bisley.
All right.
It's turned into a Bisley butt stream.
It's become the Bisley butt stream.
He draws the best butts. I'm sorry. Simon Bisley draws the best butts. He just had
Hail be Rose.
Yes. See, I love that.
Look at those boobies. Yeah.
He does. You know what?
It looks so realistic. I just want to like put my face in them and just be like
80s metal chicks, dude. Nothing hotter, bro.
You know what I think? I think the motorcycle's not big enough in this one though.
Well, there's the other side, like he has the one with the back shot,
John, get in here. John, is this bike too big or too small?
Yes. Get some critique going on. Let's go. Love heavy metal. Yeah. All right. Bringing it back.
Let's bring it back.
I'm gonna do a shot here for this comment. Motorboat.
Are you doing a shot?
Do a shot. Yeah, because we haven't really drank at all. It's been 2 hours and
I have this. This is what I will kill off tonight, maybe.
Let's do this.
I've been drinking a bottle of tequila for 3 weeks.
Malin said I can fix it.
John is all about creating goodwill right now.
If anybody could, it would be John. That is for sure. All right. Shot to Leandro for that motorboat
hail
thing.
Phill and I are straight edge.
I guess you guys will swallow air. We'll swallow our alcohol.
Oh.
I just ran out of water too. Look, we show the Bisley cleavage and the porn bots.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Beautiful. Look at that. Mod them up, making them mods. Tinder hot.
No. We don't do Tinder. Okay.
Yeah, Snapchat filter. Right. Put some flames around you right now.
Yeah.
You just got a membership chat from B Rose. It says shots.
What?
Where did that show?
Where did that? All I see is porn bots.
It's not so membership chats do not show up in StreamYards. They only show up on the YouTube channel.
That is
chat.
That is stupid.
Yeah, it's annoying. So if anybody gifts subs, like gifts memberships, you can only see it on YouTube. You'll be able to see when someone joins.
Popping out that chat and throwing it so I can actually
do a pop-out chat.
Well, thank you, B Rose. Yeah, shots. Appreciate
Does that mean we have to take another one? I need a chaser.
Yeah, let's do it. That actually sucks because someone did give some memberships on the last stream, and I never saw it. And I was like, where the hell I didn't even see it. So
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Well, I appreciate it. I wish. All right, StreamYard needs to fix that. That'd be nice if that was another feature they added.
What were you saying, Tommy?
I was going to say if we can get Omega Storm to close above 150, I'll do a drinking stream.
Oh no, Tommy!
Oh shit, we're doing a drinking stream if you guys get that. Let's go.
I'll put a hurting on anybody, bro.
It's true. I've heard tell that this guy is
spread the word, bro. You want to do a drinking stream? You call up the kid and we'll do a drinking stream. We'll see who's left standing.
Oh shit! I don't like it when someone's that confident going into something. That makes me worried.
Bro. I promise you, I got this.
Table. Met my wife on Plenty of Fish. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Farmers only.
Everybody.
Phil, that's where you met yours, right?
Malin is like a woman thinking he can fix broken men. Truth. I like that. Don't do it, Tommy. Think about your liver. Oh, yeah.
I don't have one anymore, bro. It's just straight through now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Get my whiskey.
I think I just broke my finger. I did.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Fingernail.
Look
there you go. Look at that.
Now I'm gonna have to flip people off with the
broken one.
I just got my nails done. I cut them short too. I never break them when they're long. I cut them short. And
Phil, you gotta get a bottle and put some tea in it and fake everybody out.
Oh, I could put tea in here. It's a good idea. Cinnamon whiskey.
Oh, was that fireball in there? That would be delicious. I love fireball.
Nice.
Phil will do a drinking stream with me if we break 150.
We got Aldous member of the channel saying, "Good evening, all. Good evening to you, sir."
Mo, get down.
No, my good friend Simon Bisley told me
cat's dancing.
Start drinking, not to start drinking. So I
can't start, huh?
I had drinks with Simon Bisley after a con with Spencer.
Uh-oh.
I know.
He said, I know. Leandro said, you can't outdrink the coach. He's been training at 40 ounces. Now the 40 is training for John. There you go.
Bro, it ain't happening. I'll put the challenge out there. We do 150. Come one, come all.
Oh my goodness.
That's gonna be
it won't devolve into nonsense either.
Anytime a grown man calls himself the kid, be worried.
Dude, I get stronger when I drink.
I don't know. In Massachusetts, grown men call each other kid all day long.
I stole it from Phil Anselmo.
I was just going to say there's only one man I know that calls himself the kid, and that's Philip H. Anselmo.
He says, never underestimate the kid. And I'm the kid.
And I am the fucking
kid.
That
shit's so funny.
Yeah. John is a lightweight. Oh, shit.
That's true. He did run out puking one night. A couple times, I'm sure.
Really?
Oh, man.
Don't shatter my illusion of mailing. It's like...
Drink
keep
straight,
them up there on the godlike level.
Yeah, drink straight booze, whiskey or vodka, and have 3 or 4 cheeseburgers, and you'll survive.
Yep, definitely have cheeseburgers.
Nail Bunny asks, "Is Kayla from Jersey?"
No, hell no.
She's so offended.
She's so angry.
Hell no. I am not from Jersey. No.
Oh.
I'm from Massachusetts. Where are you getting Jersey from? I definitely don't talk like I'm from Jersey.
Well, I mean, if you don't know the Boston,
you know what it is? It's because
Jersey
they all think everyone thinks I'm Italian. That's what it is. It's because they've never seen Armenian people that aren't Kardashians.
Oh, that's what it is.
People accuse me of being British. I don't know what that's all about.
Really? I don't know.
I made that up.
People used to think I was Asian.
I'll lie.
People used to think
you were Asian.
I've gotten people that thought I was like mixed with things. Like definitely, like I would get all kinds of Spanish, Cuban, Puerto Rican,
Yeah, I've had people think I was Cuban before, but that's back when I used to tan. Back in my early 20s, dark skin.
I'm gonna start tanning.
Dark skin, dark hair, all that kind of stuff.
I get
John
very dark.
admits to running out of the room and puking once.
Yeah, because he's a real man.
Only
See,
once.
real men admit
Only
shit.
once.
I find I don't need a tan if I get my blood pressure high enough.
Oh shit.
That's true.
No,
I've seen
that's
that.
Good
Got
point.
good color.
Good point. She's from Boston. Yeah,
I'm from
that's right.
Salem. Outside
Mass
of
represent. How cool is Salem?
Exactly, Leandro. It's not cool. It's expensive as shit to live here. We have a horrible mayor, an absolute horrible mayor that has been on the news all the time. I don't even want to get into it, but you can go and look up the mayor of Salem and you can tell me.
There are a lot of cool old houses there.
Yes. There's old houses. There's a lot of tourism. I think it's very overrated. I've been here my whole life. So it's very overrated. And yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to focus on like the East India Trading Company, that Salem was the largest port for the East India Trading Company. They're not going to do that.
Cool, I guess.
But they focus on the witch trials, which Salem consisted of Beverly and Danvers, and a lot of the things that actually happened in Danvers, Mass, right outside of Salem. So
and where I live in Murray, we had a vampire cult here.
There's not enough burnings these days. Like I said,
I get down with that.
There is no
burning.
You'll find witches. You'll find bitches. Not really witches. So
Joe's
there's
Portuguese.
no packing. There's nothing. So,
John, you can find the burn. You just get a German hooker.
Oh shit!
a German
Hey Phil,
hooker?
if you're Asian, I want you to say, "Me fluff your pillow." Say that.
Oh, do it.
Me fluff your pillow?
No, me fluff your pillow.
Say it long time.
You got this, Phil.
You gotta do the
No, you don't
R's,
want to be a
though, right?
soundbite.
Me fluff your pillow.
Ni hao mao. Not too much now. The ad put here, and then which is welcome as a Korean.
Oh, yeah.
One of my best friends is Vietnamese, and she does my nails. We literally talk to each other like we're in the nail salon. She'd be like, "Hey, Rocco, you sit down. I do your nail. You make you look good." Cancel me.
That would turn me on if you said that for me. I'd be like, yes. I don't know what it is, but yes. I saw Ja Rowe asked about Sean. Sean is still on hiatus, taking care of his mother. Things were looking really good there for a little bit, and then they took a little bit of a step back. Things are going well right now, and he did mention that he just wanted to say a shout out to everybody that's reached out to him and all the love he's felt for his mother and him in this situation, and he appreciates and loves everybody. So yeah, it's just keep it coming. He appreciates it. His mom appreciates it. So he might not get a chance to reach out back to everybody when they do, but he does see it. He does read it, and it means a lot to him and his family. So keep that up, guys. And hopefully he'll be back at some point. It's a very serious kind of touchy situation, and he's doing what he's got to do. And I'm very, very proud of him for it. So, but yeah, the love and thoughts and prayers and all that stuff is definitely helping, guys. So keep that up, and he appreciates it.
Definitely send the positive vibrations. I'm waiting for Sean to get back so I can send him a Robin shirt or costume.
Yeah, gotta get him in that.
Sean,
yeah.
I have to see the sexiness of the Robin costume.
Yeah, like old school Robin, like with
the the man panties on the outside.
Yeah, the speedos, the man. You get the man speedos going on. It's got to be old school Robin costume. That's what it has to be. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be very disappointed.
We love Sean. I miss him.
So. Oh, I do too. Which is why, I mean, if we haven't had Ott and stuff in months, and like I just didn't feel like doing it without him, this time around. So
yeah,
when he comes back, Ott and stuff will be back, and we'll figure that out, and we'll be getting that up and rolling again. But until then, we're carrying the load here at Appreciating Comic Book Art.
Do you want to take a look at Type 1 real quick, since it's still in the sign up stuff? Or Reaper Destroy has that
yeah, let's look at Type 1 for a second, because
goal too as well.
I should have thought about that. bad friend. All right.
Because I'm a gem.
That is very true. That's very true.
What?
So Sean Aaron, he is my partner over on Ott and Stuff. He has a book coming out called Type 1, which is right here. It's the sign up is out right now. Obviously, this is kind of delayed because of the situation that's going on, but he is still, when he has time, working on this book. I know he's still very excited about what's going on. He's got Dan Kemp doing the colors, and he's got a few pages being worked on right now. I know he's very excited to see when it gets back from Dan, and I'm excited to see him too because I think this book is going to look awesome. It's the best work that I've seen Sean do. He put out an ash can last year. This is some examples of the black and white of the ash can. He's actually continuing to work on these pages, so he's going through and working and fixing errors and seeing things he didn't like and redrawing. So like if anybody got the ash can, that's definitely going to be a cool collectible because it's going to be like a before and after, because I've seen some of the redone pages he's done from the ash can and they're looking fantastic. So here's an example of the cover colored by Dan Kemp. If anybody doesn't know, Dan Kemp was a colorist on Spawn for a long time. I think he was originally an assistant for Brian Hammerlin and then broke off and started doing his own thing, covers. Fantastic colorist. If you haven't seen, he's done a bunch of stuff on the Reaper Destroyer campaign as well. But this is a story that is close to Sean because Sean is a diabetic. So it's just essentially him telling a superhero story about himself. I think it's great. He's also doing a lot for the juvenile diabetes community as well with this. So it's more than just a comic book campaign. Like there's a lot behind this campaign. I think when it goes off, it's going to be fun comic book story, but also it's going to be for a good cause. So if you haven't yet, please go to Indiegogo. I'm going to drop the link in the chat here.
Yep. Yeah. Green Laser dropped it as well.
Oh, sweet.
I pulled it up.
Yes. Thank you, Green Laser. Appreciate it.
Amazing.
There's a link. Please go sign up for it. This is a little ways off. Again, the personal issues at home are delaying things, but he is still working on it. Hopefully he's going to launch it sometime next year. And when he does, it's going to be a giant party. We're all going to come out for it. And I think it's going to be a good time. So please check it out if you get a chance.
Oh, yeah.
If it does 150K, I'll drink on that stream too.
Let's hope it gets 150K. That would be absolutely awesome.
I'll show up in the Robin costume that time. And
Tommy just wants to drink.
Yeah, he does.
I'm making idle threats.
Mike said if it wasn't for the third shift, he'd pinch hit for Ott and Stuff again. Yes. Mike McMahon originally, back when Sean had to take hiatus 2 years ago, stepped in for a good, couple months or a month at least for shows. And that was very fun. Definitely appreciate you. I didn't have the strength to do it this time around. Like I was like, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting this time around. I'm a type 2. Oh, I was almost about to say, oh, nice. I did not mean to say that, but yeah. Or Leandro was like, oh, that's cool. To OC Steve.
Sweet.
Yo,
Joe,
next...
look, I got this in the mail today. Look at this.
What do you got? We got.
Ooh,
the shit.
Tails.
Look at that.
Hardcover too.
Look at that.
I thought Golden did the cover on that.
This is an alt cover. Yeah, Golden had the cover. This is Dan Lawless did this cover.
Oh, okay. Yeah, support Dan. My bad.
Yeah,
sorry, Dan.
Absolutely. Yeah. That looks awesome, man.
Yeah, really good stuff in there.
I'm waiting for my Inglorious Rex. I see a lot of people getting theirs.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm waiting for mine to get in the mail because I was one of the first 24-hour backers, and I'm really looking forward to. I got the 24-hour cover, and then I got the main cover. I can't remember. Shit, I have to look. I backed it a couple times. I got an erection. Says Sean has inspired me to write a comic book for Rob as he works on Replicated 4, a story about his ED. He should.
I have mail here. I'm gonna open it and see what it is. It's a book.
All right.
We'll see what book.
Oh, yeah. What the hell is
Your
that?
man card?
Oh, you got an actual man card. Nice.
That is awesome.
Get that laminated and carry that with you, Phil.
Yeah, right.
Laminated.
Throw it down whenever you're trying to cut line.
Yeah, Green Laser said the meds are a pain, but at least I'm not an insulin. Yeah. It's definitely rough for the type 1s for sure. Type 1's a great cause, and it's interesting having a superhero that actually has to deal with having to deal with type 1, to have to deal with diabetes, and it works into the story how it affects him being a superhero in these situations. Sean's put a lot of thought into the book.
He needs to put Wilford Brimley in that comic.
Diabetes.
Oh.
I got 6 pages of art from Shelby from his work on Glorious Rex. They are pretty sweet.
Dude,
nice.
I saw that.
Like
that
original
crazy.
pages?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
He posted that today.
Nice.
Awesome.
You should, Jay Ryan, send me some pictures in the DM. I'll bring them up here on the stream. I'd love to see them.
I think he tweeted him. I'll pull him up.
Kayla, what are you all?
What is that,
I'm
Kayla?
so excited because
Google
all right,
there.
so this is
nice.
Tropical Magics.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and this is done by
Holy shit, that's huge.
It's thick.
Pedro.
Pedro.
And, yeah, Pedro Ang. I love Pedro. And he did the story and he did the artwork in it. And then the edits and letters were done by Ginge or Mark Mulgrave. I mean, I call him Ginge. And then the cover art, he had several different covers. He had one done by Artie Bear. And then he had one done by, I think it's Ollie from the 656 guys.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to get into this because Pedro is incredibly knowledgeable and he has a very particular style that I enjoy. And I'm excited. This is his debut book here. Oh, and then I got the Art of Tropical Magics as well because I'm a sucker for making of and the art books of everything. And so I can't wait to get into this. Oh, and there's a bunch of trading cards here too. Oh, I love this.
Well, now we know what's going to get Kayla to back multiple times.
Yeah, have an art book.
I need an art book.
Have an art
book,
process book. The last thing I backed, because the last thing I backed was actually what was it? Andy Smith's Artist Edition book.
Portrait.
Yeah, because
Nice.
well, that's definitely like my kind of book. I mean, I like Conan the Barbarian, and that's that kind of
Fantasy,
yeah, that fantasy stuff. But
I don't know that it's stated very often, but it's really exciting getting shit in the mail.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
It is, dude.
Well.
It pumps you up.
Oh, see, I love stuff like this, like this process art in here. And why is my camera backwards? What did I do?
Oh, that's just I mean, there's a way you can change that in the settings, but
all right, yeah, but
put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Like I love this. Like this is so cool. I love this. So I can't wait to read this. I'm looking forward to this. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Phil, drop a link for CG Vacation. They are saying in the chat.
All right, I will. Maybe
Maybe
I will.
Maybe you
Shipping
will.
out right now, guys. Everybody's getting their books.
Jay Ryan sent some of these pictures of the Shelby original art for Rex. Ah, nice. That's so sick.
That's like nerdgasmic.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's an awesome face down here.
Monster, dude. That's so sick. Yeah.
That's a
I love
great
inky
face.
art.
Yeah.
Shelby.
Wow.
Yeah, that's sick.
Shelby's amazing.
He's got that bounce to the inks.
Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his inking style over his own work. Actually, I love his inking style in general. He's just a very talented dude.
They're back. It's because Shelby's. I said nerdgasmic, and the Tinderbot's back for Shelby's art.
That's what it is. Like as soon as something sexual. Oh shit! I'm still off screen. I just got a pile of samurai movies in the mail this week. It's like Christmas. Nice. Oh, good samurai movie.
Are there more pages?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure I'm not sharing anything to the next page. Okay. I don't know if this pulls it up or not. I don't want to expose myself. The last thing you want me to do is expose myself.
Are you sure? You ask for everyone to picture you naked every week. I'm just saying.
That's true. That is a very good point. Yeah, maybe you all do. Maybe I finally wore you down.
The monster here.
That's Joe's other's nickname.
The monster on the left there, he has Rach Tallity's headdress on.
He does. Good call.
It's awesome.
That's funny. Yeah, this is. I love his work. I love the page on the right here. I love the splatter. Look at all that whiteout. Look at all that whiteout.
John would hate that.
John would hate that, but I love that. Like that's the shit. Well, I take that back. You know, John said that splatter's all right if it's used correctly. So it just depends on if John would think this was used correctly.
Yeah, I was sending Jimmy some notes to start using some splatter on some spots. He's like, sorry, bro.
No. Bro.
Yeah, I don't think John would say that's used correctly.
Yeah. I was just gonna say he might not like that, but I was gonna say that's when you just add in the whiteout yourself afterwards. You know,
that's so cool though.
Can you guys see this? To go to another page?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is sick.
That is.
I got the supplemental. Yeah, the second time I bagged, I got the supplemental. But yeah. Right now I'm like, I think I did. So. I hope I did. I'm gonna be kind of upset if I forgot.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Shelby's kicking ass.
Hale Lore said it's Kayla's fault. Yeah, getting the porn bots in here.
You fucking misogynist.
No, I'm sorry. I signed you guys up for a bunch of porn bots. Like it was like $15 in my PayPal, so I had to do it.
It's worth it.
They're trying to get me to make an OnlyFans where I just eat Slim Jims and show comic books all day, or just show various levels of stripped down Slim Jims.
Stripped what?
All I heard was Slim Jims, different layers of Slim Jims. I haven't been able to find any fresh ones in a while. Otherwise, I would have been eating them on the show.
It's gross, Kayla.
I love them. Cool. Listen.
My dad talked my grandmother into eating a banana like a corn on the cob. told her it would taste better. She tried it. I got my grandma and my aunt to do it. He's a real jokester, that guy.
Oh my god.
That's what's up. So yeah, that was cool. Thank you for sharing that, Jay Ryan. Appreciate that. That was awesome.
So cool.
Just read it today. Oh, read it today. It's so good. You want more? I know, man. Just waiting for it to get into my mailbox.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, everybody else is getting theirs.
Hold on, I got the short arm, long arm battle behind me. I have my midget cat fighting my
I see that.
regular size cat.
Yeah, Kayla's got a midget cat.
Yeah,
I just think about that.
She's
looks just like a cat, except its legs are like that long.
Cats love canned air. Should try it out.
Cats like canned air?
Yeah.
Hold it upside down when you spray it at them.
No. She's in a mood. This is bitch face kitty. She the grumpy cat's a midget cat too. She's just bitch face kitty. Huh.
She definitely looks angry.
I don't want to brag or anything, but on my old account, Grumpy Cat used to follow me.
I got bitch face kitty. When Grumpy Cat was alive, this cat would have kicked that cat's ass.
Jesus.
I got something for y'all. Any cat lovers out there?
I send Phil cat pics all the time. He's not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
Well, it depends on what kind of depends on what kind of kitty you're
This is for all you.
I'll find them on 4chan. They're on 4chan all the time. They put funny captions on them, and it makes me laugh. I don't know.
This is for all you cat lovers out there, and when you see this, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Whoa. That's my morning.
Yeah, that's why it's
literally every morning.
Disgusting.
That's what all cats do, man. That's all they want to do is get up in your face and just there you go. Cat butthole. That's what they want to do. That's what cats do. That's what cats are for. Right there. Yeah. Hail, Jason. What's going on?
Jason will be on my show this week. We had complications last week. Spencer had a storm his way. So
look at he's got it right ready to roll. I was about to say everybody check out
Absolute.
I know. I was just going to say was that?
No, I just have everything.
That's Phil's ability. Every stream he's on, he has the book there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of books around me.
That looks like pink eye.
I got the book.
This room's like the Scrooge McDuck swimming in all his money. It's just comic books.
Yeah. I got the comic.
I don't know. I get 27 boxes over here.
Whoa,
I can start pulling out long boxes.
Watch out now. I think we're gonna be getting out of here pretty soon. My voice seems to be going away. I have no idea what the hell is going on. It's kind of annoying. But
Are you falling?
Yeah.
I'm trying, guys.
He fell in love with your art, Tommy.
Oh,
yeah, that's what it was.
That's
what it was.
Yeah, hopefully we could do this in maybe 3 more years so we could finally talk about the twist ending to Brom.
3 more years?
Yeah,
Shit.
I think that'll be enough time, right?
All right, guys, everybody wait 3 more years, and then John will let us finally get into the twist ending, and we can all talk about it.
Well, it just gives everybody. I'm telling you, the twist ending is really good, so you do want to go out and get Brom.
Hey, this
That's
is
good.
building it up more than anything.
Yeah,
That's true.
Whoever's
Why
read
is
it,
John
you know,
Sonam
you know.
secretive over this twist ending? I'll tell you why. Because it's the best one in comics.
Oh
That's
shit!
right, brother.
Go back. Omega Storm now and get that supplemental book. Is get the double supplemental.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to
Support
buy it.
Phill
The
here
double
too.
pack. The double pack. Yeah. $85 for both books. You won't. be disappointed.
$150K, and Phill will add an extra L in his name.
3 L's?
Shit.
3 L's.
3 L's. Now that's boss right there.
That is boss. He'll be Phill.
Yeah, I need to get Jason on here. Yeah, I have not talked to Jason in a while. I feel bad about it. There's a lot of people I actually haven't talked to in a while, and it sucks. It gets so busy. But yeah, I'd love to get Jason on here and a bunch of people. I'm actually going to start a second show while we're waiting for Ott and stuff to come back. I think I'm going to start a second show on Thursdays at 8, and just do a little bit more of like what Ott and stuff did, which was bring on creators, just hang out, let's talk about their books, and then just try to have a good time talking about comic book art.
Invite me. I need friends. Shit.
Tommy
there you go.
Friends, yeah.
There you go. So be on the lookout for that. I think it'll be next Thursday. I think we're gonna have Camel Moon and Isaac Bell on. And we're gonna talk about their books. And yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. He's an awesome dude. Awesome dude. Great art. Let's go around the horn though before we get out of here. Phill, what do you want to show? What do you want to talk about?
Guys, back CG Vacation. I have a towel right here. You guys can get this on. Get this on the campaign. Ships out right away.
Nice.
We only have a few. We have to get through the international books, and we just got a proof of the calendar in today for everybody that backed calendars. So those will either be shipping out by the end of the week, or when we're going on vacation. So when we get back, we'll be shipping those out. But we just sent out like 100 more books today.
That's
So
very
those are in
meta.
mail.
Going on a vacation and then shipping.
I know. I'm going to bring my towel and take some pictures.
You're gonna pop bare bottoms with those towels.
So back CG Vacation. Spread the word. Post pictures when you guys get them, and get ready. We're gonna have to put up a mailing list up for the Lost Pages 3 because we're getting a lot of awesome work done on that.
Hail the Lure. Thank you for coming out. Tommy, what do you want to show? Where can people follow you at?
Just go on YouTube and type in Tommy the Comic Guy, or Reclaiming the Archetypes, or Morning Stretch, or Comic Book Fireball.
Holy shit!
Tommy the Comic Guy.
I can't settle on my brand. I think my brand is in flux, guys. It's in flux. But on Twitter, Tommy the Comic Guy on Twitter.
Yep.
I'm glad you had me on stream. It was a lot of pressure off my back, letting everyone know that I'm not horribly disfigured. I just don't do streams.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's a pleasure having you on. Man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Back Omega
It's a pleasure having both of you on. Kayla.
I'll be here next Tuesday, and then this Thursday I have Jason on. Hopefully there's yes, the brand is sex appeal. That's why you're coming on my show on Thursday on the Death Curse channel. Hopefully there isn't any weather issues so I can conduct my interview. So and that's gonna be at 9:30. So hopefully I see some of you guys there. Yeah. Other than that, I'm at the comic shop this weekend. Come visit me if you're in town. Let's chat. We can talk about how many books in the store suck and look at that. And go to the manga section because we can't keep manga in stock. So
kicking our asses.
If you guys haven't already in the chat, sub to Zade Comics because we do streams all the time, Mondays and Fridays. And Tommy's on there too, drawing some stuff every once in a while.
Tadline.
Yeah, we got to get back to that.
Hotline.
Tadline.
Tadline.
Hotline.
Tadline.
Casting couches. And casting couches. Yeah, you know what's going on. Yeah, and back my book, Reaper Destroyer, is live on Indiegogo right now in demand. We are one backer away from hitting that 54K mark and getting to 816 backers. We are actually going to be doing next Tuesday's stream. Kayla's going to be doing a review of the ash can that they put out. We're going to talk a little bit more, dive into the story, into the art of Reaper Destroyer, because everyone tells me I don't do enough self-promotion around here. So we're going to ratify that next Tuesday at 10 for appreciating comic book art. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Kayla looking beautiful tonight. Phil and Tommy, you guys were awesome leaders. Could be.
I think it said Tommy looking beautiful tonight.
I like to read this as great stream as always. Joe, Kayla looking beautiful tonight, as in
you
both looking beautiful tonight. That's how I read it. That's how I read it. Thank you, Lorad. Appreciate
This
that.
is a good looking room right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, this is the best looking stream you're ever going to see. All right, everybody. Until next Tuesday, I will talk to you guys all later. And as always, picture me naked. Peace.